RF floating around your shack when you're on the headset. I'm not sure if the printer can be the source, but it's definitely something in there.
Well, it's right in the middle of starting a new print, so can't. We'll see what happens later.
Okay, it's not annoying. It's just something we noticed.
As long as I don't have the headset plugged in, apparently it's gone. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went away.
I'm just printing constantly. Mark Klein, are you in there? He's up there twice, but he's not there yet.
I'm here.
There he is.
Oh, so I set an 8-hour print last night when I went to bed.
How many hours?
It was supposed to take 8 hours.
Okay.
So I went to bed, and I got up this morning, and the head on my printer had this ball around it. Took me most of the day to very carefully. I mean, apparently it froze up somehow, and it just started just doing this up onto the. And anyway, the whole extruder, or no, it's not the extruder, but the whole hot end was just covered in a big ball of white plastic. It was quite a lot of fun to get it loose without hurting any of the wires or any of that. But
welcome to the 3D printing world of fame. Yes, that's never fun.
You know, it's fun. I'd done two of these parts back to back, and before I went to bed, and they'd printed perfectly. And so I thought, I'll do the third one. It'll be done when I get up in the morning. And it's like a little child. If you don't pay attention to it, it acts up.
That's called famous last words.
Yeah.
There has to be a sensor on that device to see that you're there, because once you walk away, bang.
There's obviously not a sensor on it that tells it when it's screwed up. It just shoving plastic out.
Yeah. Usually if it hits against something and it binds the motor is the only time it'll shut down. Yeah. Usually if I told the early guys I got out of the office late, so I was on the phone and now I'm hooked up at the house. So who's here? Steve Vance is here. Hi, Steve Vance. Haven't seen you in 100 years. He's waving.
Waved, yeah.
You're muted, but that's okay.
So did you get the email I sent you, Mark?
I did. I gave him a homework project on Z-Wave, and you kind of answered and then you kind of bailed. So I'm curious.
I think you ought to try. It. I mean, I don't know if you can link two controllers together. Somebody's echoing.
Okay, we'll try that again. No, there's echo. Maybe it's Steve. Are you echoing for us?
I hope not, but I just now turned on my microphone.
Well, you're not echoing, so that's a bad sign. Turn your mic off now. See what you got.
Me?
Yeah, and see if it'll stop the echo. Hello, test 1 2. No echo. No echo. You might try to just call back in. We had that a couple times where if you just call back in, it'll get a better channel where it won't echo back in. So if you want to just drop off and connect back up, that would be cool.
Wait, do we all got to start quacking like ducks again?
Quack, 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 quack. Did we do that before? No.
Just ask.
Hello, John. I didn't see you there. I heard your voice.
Or actually, good morning, UTC.
There you go.
How are we doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Gary Skaggs.
If you snow over there?
Oh no, heavens no. We're supposed to get 40 inches or something, but not yet. Gary Skaggs was doing some snooping on the SN9 rocket, and I'm jealous. And now you're muted. There you go. Do what? Say again, Gary?
SN8 is the one that's currently on the pad.
Your upload, you can tell by Bill Baker's laugh, your uplink is a little Cylon-y. And by a little, I mean, that's what you sounded like. Now you match the sound.
That's what I normally sound like.
Oh, okay. There you're getting better. There you're getting better. Steve's back. I'm not hearing an echo and your mic's off, so good job. Or
Yeah, I'm not muted and everything's working.
Yeah, life's good. We had that a couple other times.
Oh, looks like we lost Mark.
Lost Mark?
Yeah.
Oh.
He put his finger in the socket and see what happens.
Is that a bad thing?
What will we do?
Oops.
Well, I just all of a sudden it said host, and I thought, uh-oh, where'd Mark go? There he is.
There it is.
I'm back.
Hey,
I'm on
Mark.
the phone now. I've got
Welcome
a
back.
laptop that's powering itself off when it wants to, so
His alter
Maybe,
ego is here now.
get tired of you guys.
What is Ken doing here?
You haven't even started yet. Wow.
Ken
Your
is like
laptop has a low
wheezing.
tolerance there.
Yeah,
It's the weirdest diet I've ever seen.
he looked like he was cutting cocaine with black pepper.
I thought it was rekeying a lock. Looks like little lock pins.
Oh, it could be.
I thought he was counting his diamonds. The economy is that bad, he had to start counting his diamonds.
It's a flea circus. Looks like
Those little surface mount device chips jump bigger and badder than fleas, and they go to places where the odd socks go. I've got a diode and a megohm resistor that just disappeared.
You know, I'd sure like to learn how to solder those.
It's tedious, but it gets better as you go.
I'll have to put that on my list for tomorrow, Carl. That's a good thought.
Mark, you know, I know you've got more than one laptop.
Oh yeah, I switched over to another. I can't figure out why this thing's flipping out. It's been power outing, and I'm guessing it's battery is what I'm figuring out slowly. The error messages just say going down, and now it says 2 minutes to full charge. So yeah, I'm betting the battery just decided to get wacky.
Time to switch to another laptop.
Yeah, pull another battery in that one. Let's see.
Grab another one right quick and set it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did Zoom stay alive? It gets its power shut down, so it knows it's going down. Kind of odd. But yeah, I started to say, and then everything went to pot, was that my homework for Sam was to do some stuff where I've got a shop and a house, and they're 100 apart. And how do you do Z-Wave between them to do remote control stuff? So my question from your email, Sam, is if I put a Z-Wave doodad on the side of the house that faces the shop that does a light, and then I do another one on the side of the shop that faces the house, is that how you daisy chain these kind of things? You put them up there like outside?
Yeah, they will mesh. You know, they'll jump from one to another, and every command, it has nothing to do with electric wiring, except they have to have power. But,
so that's unlike XR X10, right?
Right. X10 uses the electric wires to transmit, but the Z-Wave
Right.
uses radio wave. So much more reliable and less finicky with, you know, like motor starters and stuff like that, blocking the signal. So.
'Cause I'm
It's
thinking
it's
from
it,
your
it's
message,
pretty.
two lights, those two light doodads. I've got two outside lights there, and if I can I put a controller outside in that little box by the lights? Is that a thing?
I don't know what kind of controller.
Or a Z-Wave, a power module, whatever
I
you
mean, you
call
could probably put is there a switch right inside the door for those
Well,
lights?
I was wanting to put like an inline thing that went outside.
Yeah, you can. There are little inline modules. I bought one. I've never done anything with it, but I've got a deck that has two lights on it, and they're all the electrician wired them on both on the same switch. And I don't always want them both on.
Right.
So I bought this little thing. My idea was I would put it on the other light. Put it up in the box in the ceiling on the other light. That way I could flip the switch on, but then turn that second light off when I don't want that light on. You know what I'm saying? But I've never put the thing in.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
Why won't it work?
It's
So that should work without any problem.
yeah, and whether it'll reach or not is going to be one article I read said 200-foot range, and the other one said 300-foot range.
Well, this is 100. It'd be 100 foot between the two devices.
And then they both talked about building materials make a difference.
This would be clear open air, 100 feet apart. Boom.
But you're going to put it in a metal box, so it's not really clear open air.
I could put it in a plastic box.
That would probably help. But really, all it's doing is just acting as a relay. As a repeater, I should say, to get into radio terms.
Oh, okay, radio repeater, yeah.
Look at
And
that.
then a radio.
You're going to eat all that?
And then a relay to turn on and off the light.
Well, it does that. That's actually what it is. It's actually a relay to turn the light on and off. But all Z-Wave devices are both transmitters and receivers. So they all act as little repeaters.
So there's no smarts. It's just you put it up there as a device, and it figures out who it can talk to.
Well, you program your controller wherever you put it. Or I would put it in your house. Program your controller to that. This is this light and this is that light, and you can label them and stuff like that. So basically, it just relays the signal to whatever you put out in your shop. You put a light switch out there, for example, and the other one would just relay the signal.
I think I'm gonna have to try it.
Pretty nice.
Okay, you did well on your homework. Anybody else do anything fun throughout the week, or need problems or helps or issues?
I need to know where those little bugs fly to when they jump off my table.
Oh man!
I been digging around out here, and with the wet weather and everything, you think about weatherproofing your equipment. And we used to use. It can't be said the Germans don't have a sense of humor, but we used to use this high voltage dielectric grease.
Okay.
I don't know if you can read that or not.
Yeah, I have no words.
Wacker's silicon paste.
Yep, that's the Germans for you, but it's a dielectric grease. But anyway.
That's exactly what you need. So that's the little light kit you're putting together?
It is. The heartbeat's working. I haven't got all of the diodes in yet. And so main thing is the chip's working and Well, I don't know if the decade counter is counting or not, but it's getting a pulse in. As soon as I get something hooked up to it, I'll find out. Those little boogers are crazy. The real small ones. And I've got a fine tip iron, but it's anyway, it's huge compared to some of them.
Are they like 1 millimeter by 2 millimeters? That the size you're talking?
Well, I don't know. There's some that are sub millimeter. The 403, 402 rather class, and the ones I'm actually using, I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me see. Are right here. And then they've got some here that you can practice putting on, and you can kind of see maybe they're about half the size or less, a third the size of these. And these are right here. These are the large, that's the large one right there. These guys are a third the size of that one. I mean, you do need a microscope and an extremely fine tip or hot air or something with these. But it's been interesting.
You really know how to have a good time, Ken.
I'm telling you, you know, if this doesn't end soon, I'm going to go completely out of my mind.
Well, Ken, are you doing all that with that jeweler's lens?
With the what?
The jeweler's lens.
I've got a loop, but I've got one of the headgear magnifiers and a loop.
Okay.
But most of it, the larger ones, the 602 or the 802, you can do that with just a small magnifier. But the little tiny ones they're insane. Just holding them in place would just be unbelievable. But I do it for a little while, and then I cuss at it, and then I go away, and then I come back and play a little more.
Yeah.
You using something like a dental pick to?
Yeah, I've got a dental pick. The dental pick's the thing that seems to work the best. My tweezers, they'll snap and they fly. So I've learned not to put any pressure on them with tweezers.
That makes sense.
The dental pick, you can push them around, and you can actually catch it between the iron and the dental pick, the component, and position it a little bit that way, and then let go of everything, and it just sits there. So it gets easier as you go along. But when you're first starting out, boy, that's a booger.
If you use liquid flux, then the liquid flux will hold it in place. And actually, as you heat it up, he'll center that into place.
I've got I have some paste, some flux paste, and I'm getting flux on all of the surfaces generally. And it works nearly as good, maybe.
The liquid flux is sticky.
Yes, it is.
It works much better for surface mount.
For the really tiny ones, I could see that for sure. Now
the guy I watch on YouTube does the same thing. He uses the liquid flux.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah.
But I think what is it you can cut the flux with? Can you cut it with that
I think you just mainline it. You just write in.
It's just
I'm sorry, for electronics. Oh,
yeah,
I don't know.
Why would you want to cut it? Why would you want to cut it?
Well, liquid to make it more liquid. Now, what I have is a good clean paste, and I just put it on a wooden skewer tip, and I can paint the surfaces with that, and that works pretty good. I'm not having a lot of trouble when I do that. But I do need a finer tip on my iron. The iron that I've got is about 1 millimeter at the tip, and it needs to come to a very fine tip. I did experiment with removing some components out of an old remote control from a cath lab and an old wireless phone, and I just took a piece of solid copper wire, wrapped it around the barrel of the iron, and made 2 little tips on it, and you just grab them with that and a tweezer, and you can pick things off real fast. So I can see a purpose-built tip in order.
So you basically use that as a heat spreader. So you had two different points, smaller
Yeah, it
points.
gets both ends of the chip at the same time, and then you just lift it away. It just comes off quicker that way. Now, if you heat one end and you've got a hold of it with the tweezer, and you go right to the other end, it'll let go. It doesn't cool fast enough to keep it on there. So you can do it that way, and I've pulled several off that way. And that works pretty good too. But, anyway.
What gauge copper wire are we talking about?
HO gauge.
Yep. No, I think it's N scale. Might even be TT 420.
Oh, jeez. Easy there, big guy.
It's probably a 20 gauge.
Jeez.
I was thinking
single strand of 20 gauge wire.
Bell wire.
Like
18,
wire.
Yeah, 18 a gauge or something. But
yeah,
no,
that would work.
And that's transmitting enough heat.
Yeah, it does. It all gets real hot. Pretty good. I was surprised. It was the tips are delicate. You can't put any pressure on them or you bend the wire. But if you're very light on the touch with it, you can go through quite a few components in a couple of minutes.
Kind of a soldering pitchfork.
But anyway, you can just hit both sides of it in order, and you can, as long as you got your tweezers on the component, you pluck it off. Kind of fun. I had fun once. I'm not quite sure it was like that.
Yeah, it's I've had to do it a couple times, and I think I got a project I'm gonna have to do some more tomorrow. But you're right. It just takes patience.
Yep.
And does that come with the kit, or patience, or is that you have to buy that separate?
Bill Baker's got a bunch. You can go get some from him.
Oh,
you can get some at Aldi's. They're $3 white Zinfandel is not too bad.
It's Aldi though, isn't that generic wine?
It's generic wine, yeah.
Hey, Mark, I know how much you like wire crimpers, so I got you some heavy duty ones. So at the next test session, I'll bring them to you and gift them to you. If you will bring one of those little kits back for me.
Awesome. You mean the crimpers I borrowed you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say.
I finally finished the grounding stuff. Yeah.
I was going to say, that's nice. I thought I gave you a set.
Oh, is that where they came from? Oh.
I've been collecting tools for the last week for some reason. I needed some plumbing stuff, and I realized my crimp tools for PEX were at a friend's house, and it's one of those, hey, do you have those? Yeah. Okay. I'll bring them by. Thank you.
Those crimpers are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. That's 6 gauge. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't mess around. That's basically one piece of metal then, not really.
And that's why I like crimpers. Yeah. Irreversible splice.
Oh, yeah.
What did you were 6 gauge? Is that what you were on? I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and 6 gauge wire, and I had the right size ring terminals on them. So, and in fact, I even added a new pass through because I bought one of those MLA 30 magnetic loop receive antennas. So for $40 off eBay.
Oh boy, we were talking about that last week, weren't we? Wasn't that all the rage? Was it loop?
For shortwave listening, yeah, and medium wave stuff, yeah.
What did you call it? MLA
30.
34?
Just 30. I don't know what the 30 means. They were about $30 when they came out, but they're about 40 now. So
I said 42 is this one here.
And they have US stock, which means it's stocked at the dock once it gets off the boat from China after you ordered it. But yeah, that's the one right there. Yeah. So it's got a little preamp on it, and it runs off USB, and it runs off 5 volts, but they put a USB connector on it.
So that preamp is inside this bigger thing.
No, that the lower piece is the preamp, and it's
Oh.
on the same piece of PVC that the wire's stretched out on, and then the other part's the bias T.
Okay. So what are we doing for the wire?
Look at no, not that picture, but probably well, that's a terrible picture. It's a loop of very thin spring wire type stuff.
Oh, but they send you the wire.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and there's a couple of you can see the wing nuts on the side there.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. That makes sense. Okay, let's see if we can find another one. There we are.
Yeah, you can sort of see it there. You got to supply your own support. Yeah, so it works pretty well. I don't have it in a good place, but it's bidirectional because it's a loop. So
that, yeah, bidirectional meaning it receives from two lobes.
180, yeah, 180.
It doesn't transmit and receive being bidirectional.
No, I wouldn't run a transmitter through this. There's no. No. It would. I think that preamp would just go away.
The diameter of this post is what? Is that 2 feet?
It's 2 feet, yeah, roughly.
Huh. Compared to I don't know.
It works at least as well as my 40 meter, 80 meter trap dipole.
Oh.
Neither of which is cut for the AM broadcast band, but.
And it's supposed to be from where? 30 megahertz down to 0?
No, half down to 500.
Okay.
I'm using it mostly for medium wave. I got to get mine up higher. That's my problem. Or at least get the house out of the way in the direction I want to point it. But
you could move the antenna,
Yes, and I plan to. It's just sitting on a tripod out in the yard.
Okay. Yeah, this is proof of concept.
Yeah.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the right diagram. Oh no, that's the radio.
This is the amplifier in the bottom left.
No, that's the bias T. The amp is at the bottom of the circle. That's a terrible drawing. Terrible drawing.
Oh, so the amp is here,
yeah.
And this is the T.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Yeah, a lot of guys have modified theirs to put because it's just a RG174 or something that comes straight out of the box, and a lot of people have modified it to put BNCs on them, which is probably what I'll end up doing. What's that?
This is that mini whip. So we need to compare and contrast this mini whip against your MLA 30.
What is that? What's in that?
This is an active patch antenna. There's a little patch on the top and a little receiver in the bottom.
Oh,
and then there's a preamp that stays in the building and pushes power out there and does that kind of stuff. But this is about the same price, 35-ish. And
what bands do they pretend it works on?
30 down to 500-ish, 30 megahertz down to half a megahertz.
Mini whip, it's called?
It's called a mini whip, yes.
Whip. Oh, yeah, there it is, 25 bucks. Cased. Oh, it's a cased mini whip.
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah, if you don't want the case, it's even cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. I've already lost the preamp. Oh, here it is.
HF, LF, VLF. Well, okay. Maybe.
It runs off 12 volts, but that one, Peter Core and I got one for each of us, and both of them are sitting where they shouldn't be, which is on the bench in the house.
They don't work as well in there, usually.
We found that out. We both agree on that. But I want to use it for a web SDR receiver. But I didn't know anything about this MLA thing, so we may have to bring.
I don't know why. I don't know why the mini whip is not. I don't know. There's a lot of chatter about the MLA 30 in the SWL medium wave DX type chats. And I haven't seen much about I didn't know about that mini whip thing. Miracle Whip, mini whip. Miracle Whip's the other stuff, right?
Yeah, we talked about where Peter and I were going to have a report, but I think what needs to happen is my mini whip needs to come out and visit your MLA 30 some afternoon.
Possibly.
And then we do some A/B tests between the devices, because those two devices and then a 40 meter dipole, and just see what the real life world does for us.
Yeah, because that often turns out sometimes the brochures are exaggerated. I have found that. No, it's true. No, it's true.
Whoa, stop.
It's true. It's true.
Oh,
sometimes.
Stop.
That would never happen, especially
there's a good reason that QST never lists dB gain figures in an antenna ad. There's a very good reason. They don't. It's against their policy. If you look at the same ad in not 73 anymore, but CQ, I suppose, it'll have gain figures, and in QST it won't have gain figures. Unless you can supply them with the modeling data for them to rerun the models. They're not playing that game. So it's the only good point of QST.
That's good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the MLA 30 plus. So
Yes,
you just have the MLA 30.
No, I have a plus.
What's the
you
difference?
basically,
What's the difference?
one has a plus sign on it.
No, don't do that. No.
I'm not sure anybody's done a tear down. The whole thing, the whole amp is potted. And I know there are guys that have depotted it and reverse engineered the schematic and stuff. And I don't know if anybody's done an A/B between the plus and the non-plus. I think that the non-plus advertise that goes down to 100 kilohertz, but they really don't work that well below 160 meters. So they work, but they're not, they're better on shortwave. Both of them.
Yeah, you don't. Well, I guess we could hard mount it. We'll figure out a way to do some tests with yours. I'll bring mine over and put it on a post or something, stick, and some of those fiberglass sticks, and then see how it works comparatively. Because I had never heard of the MLI, and you've never heard of the mini whip, so it's even. Even Steven.
I haven't actually. I've only had it on AM. I haven't put it on my shortwave receiver yet. I got to get my DX160 on the bench, and it's got 2 bands that are dead. But I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. There's 500 repair videos online. So.
Because hello, Brett.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. How's Austin?
It's good. I had to connect on my phone because the computer didn't connect to the thing for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh no. Not good. Not good. Well, anybody else have any other good stories?
I got a good software issue one for you.
Oh boy. As long as it doesn't involve Cox, I am ready to go.
No.
Okay.
No, it's one of your favorites.
Oh no.
Microsoft.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Peter's about to fall out of his chair. Look out. Turns out that their latest update, they had to do an emergency update software. So if you get an update, beware. Because of the quote unquote national security issue where there was a lot of some hackers that got into a lot of stuff, and they were actually attacking internet services, so it would end up on you. And so Microsoft put out an emergency patch, but the problem, and the engineers have made a big, oh, we didn't notice that. Said that yesterday that their particular update turns off or cuts out or somehow messes up your antivirus programs in your computer.
Nothing gets along with your antivirus.
Well, that's a good point.
Or vice versa. I'm not sure.
So what you have to do is check all your security on your system there, because I checked mine, and of course, my antivirus in the background wasn't there anymore. The EXE program part of it was gone, thanks to Microsoft.
I mean, literally, it was not on the machine anymore?
It was gone. So I just had to download it and reload it.
Is this the one that turns off the Windows Firewall and Windows Defender?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it takes out that. It takes out Avast. If you use Avast, if you use Windows Defender, better check that. There's a whole list of them in there. It's gone. Thanks to Microsoft, if your computer got the update.
You wouldn't have
so you have to reload your security software on your computers that you're using. All of them.
Happen to have a link to that, Mark, would you?
No. Sorry.
I
But
did notice
it was rather lengthy. Go ahead.
I did notice a big stack of updates on a machine today.
Yeah.
I don't have update. I'm running 20H2, and it doesn't have any updates. I just looked, but it did. My virus and threat protection was turned off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Check all your security. Check all your security. Spread this far and wide. Tell all your friends and family.
Yes, but
check your security.
Unfortunately, Mark, telling the friends and family that this is an issue, and they'll go, what do I do? That's the problem.
Hey, I'll connect into your machine and fix it. Just give me your credit card number.
You know, I don't have antivirus running on my machine, but I'm also running Linux, so that probably solves that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody else in the world that's running Microsoft needs to check their security.
I make my living in the Microsoft world. I understand. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, check all your security on all your different systems that you use, all your laptops, your desktops, and everything. Check it, because like Peter just noticing, his was off, mine was gone.
Well, mine is. I just use the Microsoft stuff because but it was turned off.
Where's Steve? Let me kill Steve there. Got him.
But yeah, definitely everybody check it, because I spent a good part of today making sure all the security in my house was working, including my internet, that there wasn't any issues with the security on it as well, because it can be turned off just as easily as your computers.
Well, that is good to know. And I'm kind of like John. I'm going to go find a link to that. We got to.
Yeah.
We got to go search that a little bit. It's not a good thing.
No, well, you figure if our little group has got, say, half a dozen of us got the issues, imagine it coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets to be a real issue.
Well, that's, I'm trying to figure out what the vector is. Are they really killing something that they think is bad?
No, I think
is it a bug?
I think that they had a little bit of a glitch in their update when they were trying to figure out a way to make sure everybody was safe, and it backfired on them. Their engineers got a little too fast and getting their update done and sending it out, and they didn't look at it good enough. And somehow it automatically kills all the antivirus software in the computer, which was not their intention. But
they just turn it off to load and then forgets to turn it back on.
Well, that
He
could
said it was
be.
gone. He said it was gone, right?
Mine was gone. I went out there today and it said it wasn't updated. And I thought, wait a minute, it updates every day. So I went out to look at it and see if I could update it. And it says the EXE part of the program was gone. I thought, what? And I went back and looked, and sure enough, it's gone. So that's why the program wasn't updating.
That means it just snatched it.
Yeah.
It just snatched it and thought it was a bad guy.
Yeah. So I had to
It's on the bad
download
guy
it
list,
again
yeah.
and reset it up again.
That's probably more of a firewall or a antivirus signature problem than it is an update. Is what it sounds to me like.
I've never had that problem before.
Well, I mean, the antivirus is supposed to go and delete bad it's probably in a quarantine box somewhere, but it's supposed to quarantine bad executables, and it was doing its job, what it thought.
Take its own program out?
Well, when you're doing, I'll say Bayesian or some kind of algorithm, they don't look at who owns what. They just see that, whoops. Like pretend a bad chunk of code was found in a virus somewhere, and then all these antiviruses are using that same chunk of code, and boop, off they go. I mean, it's possible.
True.
I would think that's more, same thing. It's an update that killed your antivirus, but.
Yeah, my BitX is shutting things off today, as it always does. So apparently they didn't kill it.
Your BitX transmitter?
It's a antivirus.
Oh, BitX.
Anyway.
So that's antivirus, but it's not your microBitX.
No, not a microBitX, but an antivirus software. And it doesn't like anything. I don't even think it likes itself.
Yeah, I've just used Defender. I've given up and gone straight over to that and said, phooey.
I'm about to. I'm very close to taking that off.
I don't see anything on the line. Anybody found it on the web? Nope.
No, I found something from 2016, but
yeah, I saw 2017 something, but doesn't mean it's not there.
Excuse me. Oh.
There goes another.
2019.
I had to turn away from my board because the chip would have disappeared.
I saw a diode fly out.
One of them got away. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh.
Two of them got away.
There it is.
We need to don face shields.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
You go
You're
ahead,
driving.
sir.
Stop
Who can
driving.
find me on APRS?
Ooh, there's a throwdown. There's a throwdown.
You pirating Mark's call, or are you using your own?
No, I'm using my own.
Okay. Oh, you're on Highway
Got it.
9 out by the... No, that's your D-Star, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that is D-Star.
Yeah, why is that out there? That's all.
Oh, he might be.
Oh, he's DPRSing. I betcha.
No, he might be.
Or he's going through a hotspot. That's probably why. Are you LHG-B?
Dash I think.
Because I see it.
He might be in Pittsburgh or something. Look at
Well,
that.
that's a good point.
I see him. He's on a bridge. Don't jump.
I'm not on bridge.
All right.
That's what it says. Oh, where the hell are you? On a ferry?
Yeah.
Ferry across the
Gary.
Mersey.
Hey, Gary, he's close to you. Where's
Well,
Skaggs?
relatively speaking, yes.
I mean, he's only what, 1,500 miles away from you?
Only.
Holy carp,
Dash
he is.
I, there he is. Okay, show selected. I'll be damned.
Who knows the song we should be singing right now?
Ferry across the Mersey.
No.
Oh. You weren't
Galveston,
specific.
oh Galveston.
Oh. Yeah. He's not crossing the Mersey? No, I guess not.
That's pretty impressive.
Speaking of geography, I learned a little something this past week. While the driving times are much different for us Yankees, we're actually closer to Mexico City than we are to Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Your voice is all slow.
Would you repeat that?
He said he said he's closer to Mexico City than Dallas.
Ah. Larry's moving at 14 miles an hour. What's that in knots? At 10 knots?
I'm not sure.
Are you steering the boat with your truck steering wheel?
No.
12 knots.
Yeah, we're slowing down for some reason. Oh, got another ferry coming at us.
Yeah, you don't want to run into the dock too quickly, probably. I'm no sailor, but that's cool.
It is. Yeah, and you're actually on the starboard side of the channel that you're supposed to be going into, so you must be trying to avoid somebody coming in from Puerto Bolivar. Is that right? Bolivar? Yeah.
It says, yeah.
What's
Boulevard
Nifty.
side. Yeah, look at that.
We just thought you were driving down I-44.
Mm.
So is this like a flat deck thing that you're on, like a barge, or is this a enclosed ferry?
No, it's a flat deck ferry. It's Department of Texas free ferry.
Huh.
The only free ferry in the United States, I believe.
There's one near Corpus Christi as well. A little short one. You barely get the car and park, and you're at the other side. I don't know why they don't build a tunnel or a bridge, but and it's actually considered the state highway when you're on it. I don't know if this one is or not.
Yeah.
So is the canal in San Antonio. They built that with highway funds. Yeah, they built that with highway funds. They claim there's a yellow stripe down the middle of it at the bottom of the canal.
Yeah. Yeah. So Larry, why is there a D-Star thing on Highway 9 with your call on it?
That's his repeater.
But it's not on Highway 9.
Well,
it's moving.
Yeah, it shows it.
Somebody's borrowed it.
Yeah.
4 miles per hour at 18 degrees. Yeah, you really did slow down, man.
It's weird.
So we've now got Maritime Mobile to add to our Zoom calls for now. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
fire up an HF rig and we could operate Maritime Mobile.
Yep.
So
So
you can't without permission from the captain.
True
Oh,
enough.
that's true. That's true. Whoops. Okay, never mind. Not that I've ever done that.
I show I show the LHG Digi and the KF5 ZLE-B D-Star out in Blanchard, but then I show W5 LHG-B a couple miles west of the casino.
Oh, I know what's going on. That's probably the coordinates on my hotspot.
Okay.
I was messing with my hotspot today.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. That explains it. That explains it.
Huh.
That explains it.
Nobody else did anything. Mike KB5HX Mike. I guess we only got one mic tonight, so we don't have to do that. Mike, have you done anything with your QCX box? Does that get any farther?
No, I haven't been back into it. Keep telling myself I'm gonna go get my oscilloscope and try to see what's going on in there. It's still dysfunctional right here. Nothing, just sitting on the side of the desk.
Huh. And then what were we doing last time? Oh, a RigPi or a
Yeah. Well, I put the RigPi away. Got the RigBlaster Duo out. Read the manual. Hooked up all the wires, and it causes my radio to stick and transmit. So I'm thinking maybe it's the it's FLDIGI. So I'm gonna try to wipe FLDIGI off of my computer and see if I can't get some fresh software.
Oh, okay. You might try Whisper or JT. What the heck is that called? Joe Taylor's thing.
JT.
WSJTX.
Thank
there
you.
You go. Thank you. Sick of acronyms. WSJTX. You might try that as a different. That's a good point. Hadn't thought about that. That you have some software differences.
Well,
try that.
The software is in common, so I'm thinking it's the software rather than the radio or the. Well, of course, I am using the wiring device like we discussed last time about the pins.
Yeah.
13-pin connector. I'm still using that, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, our discussion, our wide-ranging and eclectic discussion, as Gary likes to say, we got kind of, we weren't keeping the remote control and the PTT separate, and we should have been.
Yeah. Well, I can take the 817 or 718. Yeah, the Icom. Take the Icom out of the picture and put a Xiegu in its place. See if that.
Oh yeah.
If you've got the right hookup cables, yeah.
Yeah, I do. This Duo came with all kinds of hookup cables.
Which one did you end up getting?
Well, I have three choices. I have a RigBlaster Duo.
Oh.
I have a RigBlaster Nomic. I used to think that was pronounced Nomic. N-O-M-I-C. And I have that the RigPi. I'm probably going to go with the RigBlaster Duo. Although some of its documentation is confusing me too.
The Duo is the dual radio control, right?
Yeah, you have a radio A and a radio B.
Yeah, we've got one of those up at the weather center radio room. Yeah, there's a lot of, you got to fiddle with a lot of jumpers, and it took. I used to have the single barrel version, and it took me a long time to realize what I was actually doing with those jumpers.
Yeah.
Because really, you're cheating with the serial port and using one of the signals to key your radio.
Right, like a DTS or something like that.
Yeah, you've got your choice on that, and then you've got the jumper block in a RigBlaster just routes that to the appropriate wire in your connector cable to whatever radio you're running, whatever the PTT line is.
Yeah.
Took me a long time to figure that out. It's really pretty simple, but they stopped selling the early ones. Mine had little wires that you ran between the jumpers, and later on they started selling, I forget what they called them, but they were a PC board with the jumpers on them set up for a certain radio, and you just popped in the particular radio plug, and you didn't have to mess with the jumpers anymore.
Well, this is the wired jumpers that I've got.
Okay.
They still put that in the Nomic.
Yeah. You've got the docs are online if you don't have a copy of the docs.
Oh yeah, I've got them saved to the hard drive. Plus, I know how to get them online. Both the Duo and the Nomic. I just need to get after it.
Yeah, you find one of those and I'll pay you for it.
Yeah. Well, my brother gave me around to it once.
My aunt gave me one of those when I was a kid. Yeah.
It's in my toolbox.
I don't know where mine is. Mine are around somewhere. I kept it. It doesn't get much use, but I kept it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, okay. I'm just trying to check back in. I know we hashed that one out last week and see if you got anywhere.
We tried to leave you more confused than when you started, so I hope we were successful.
Well, I'm still not digital. We'll put it that way.
There you go.
And that was one of the purposes in getting the CX was to because it can do one of the digital modes as well as CW.
Oh. Cool. Well, Larry popped back in. He fell out driving somewhere. He got onto the deck and outran the repeater.
Or there's water gushing in through his sunroof. One of the two.
Did anybody look at Street View when Larry was on the ferry? It actually had a picture of being on the ferry.
Oh, cool. Well, of course it did. Why wouldn't, I mean,
yeah.
Right. What, would they shut it off as they get on the ferry? No, I bet there's a bunch of those.
But there is.
That's a cool thing to chase. Oh, looks like he's getting some supper.
Oh no. Okay. Hey, scoot back. You're on my hand.
He's getting supper.
Joshua. Okay, now scoot back. Because we gotta get you. Hey, listen. We gotta get you in your car seat. No.
You eat that whole plate of food you had?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
He was waving a minute ago. Looked like he was wanting seconds. So, I mean.
Oh, that would be good. That's
Did you lick that?
No. There's a piece of sourdough bread. My nephew makes some really good sourdough bread, so that was a good sourdough bread sandwich.
My wife makes sourdough. It's wonderful.
Mm.
Anybody keeping up on HF with the big earthquake that happened in Croatia? What was it, today or yesterday?
I think it happened yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I heard about it, but I haven't been paying attention to HF.
No.
For those of us that didn't hear about it, let's pretend that I didn't.
Okay, 6.9 earthquake in Croatia.
That's a lot.
Yes, it was. So I was just figuring there's a lot of activity on HF in and around that zone.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It didn't release all the way. So when I was
I
driving off
wouldn't
the
doubt
coast, the truck was beeping at me and flashing lights at me, and I
There we go.
Good job.
Somebody
Okay,
tried to get in.
anybody
Wait.
here? Anybody here that can help me with some FLDIGI?
Oh, sure. Sure.
Playing with it all afternoon, and I guess my biggest thing is trying to figure out what when I see a signal and hear a signal, what it is, which mode. I mean, obviously CW sticks out, but
does FLDIGI have a signal analysis mode?
I thought it was a color code, is what I'm thinking.
well, I thought it did, but I haven't been able to figure out. And unfortunately, I can't Zoom on this computer and have FLDIGI hooked up running at the same time. But
let me see.
On the PK232, back in the olden days, you could type SIAM at the terminal prompt, and it would do a signal acquisition mode or something, and it would figure out what it was. But it only spoke like 4 different things, so because it was 1990.
Well, there only were 4 different things.
Yeah, that's right. Amtor, RIDI, Morse, and something else.
Yeah. But I did make my first PSK32 contact today. That was pretty
good.
Cool. And,
was it Bill?
Joseph in Washington State. But I was pretty impressed. I was at 30 watts and he was at 75 watts, and I was doing better getting to him than he was getting to me. So must be uphill from there to here.
Antennas matter.
Yeah,
they do.
Antennas matter. Good for you.
That was fun. But
I can't remember. I thought there was an FLDIG, like you could either hover over it or click on it, or.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
No.
There's a lot of little details I haven't figured out, like the waterfall. The waterfall will show all these signals, and I can hover over one other than the one I'm tuned to, and it will let me hear it. It's like it has a second VFO built in. And but then how to go to that frequency, I haven't figured out, But,
that you should just click on, if I'm recalling.
Pretty cool for free, I like free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I spend enough money on this hobby, so free's great.
Yeah, all that software stuff is just so neat. It's it's trial and tribulation to roll through, but I think I've got a computer here that's got FLDIGI on it. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Actually, I got into it because saw a little demo the other day of decoding Morse with it. And,
oh yeah.
Thought that would be helpful in my learning to actually know what the letters really were when I hear them. Grade myself.
Wayne snuck in. How you doing, Wayne?
I'm good. How's everybody?
Good. You had a whole week off to put up antennas and feed line, and tell us a good story that you got a lot done.
Well,
it has to be a story. It doesn't have to be real.
I got all my holes dug, got my poles put in, and the concrete poured.
Whoa!
So
that's a lot.
So everything is set. Once I get my vertical rebuilt, everything is set to put that up. However, it may be a little while before I do the vertical. So today I started putting up a 40-meter dipole just to get me on the air. And hopefully I'll have that up and going by tomorrow.
Good. Did you get the VHF-UHF up?
I did. I got that up. But I had a problem whenever I was doing the net on Saturday. I had a big problem. My old Kenwood TM 733 is old and tired like I am. And it's got a receive problem on full 40, and I couldn't hardly hear anybody on the net.
Huh?
So it was it was pretty tough. So I'm gonna switch some things around. I put my Icom 706 here in the shack, and I just have to buy another radio for the truck.
Well, damn.
So how do you know it was the radio and not the antenna?
Because before the net, Ed and I had done some testing on it, and he said my transmit was strong, the signal was strong, and plus it sounded good on another radio. So there's just, and it sounds great on 2 meters. There's just something with the 440 side that's just kind of whacked out. And I had the thing, I sent the thing off and had it checked out. I don't know, pre-COVID. And he said that everything was within specs. But I noticed when I got it back, even when I lived in Moore, it had a receive problem on full 40. So I'm not sure what was going on with that. So.
That's an odd, you have one band receive problem.
Yeah.
That sounds odd that it's the radio, but.
So I've had some problems with this radio. It used to be in my truck. I bought the radio, going on 30 years ago, but, and it's been in my truck in the hot Texas summers, and sometime it would just whack out on me and quit working for a while, and then it would work for a while. And so it's actually been in storage for 5+ years because it got to the point where I couldn't even get it to turn on, which is the reason I sent it to this guy up in Washington State to have him take a look at it. And I don't know, he said everything worked, but when I got it back, not everything worked. But not faulting him because he did a bang-up job fixing my Icom 706. But I think I decided to put the 706 in the shack anyway because it's the only rig I got that's got 6 meters, and I want to get my 6 meter antenna up as well.
Which 706 do you have?
The Mark II-G.
Okay, so you got 70 centimeters in 2 as well.
Correct.
Cool.
But anyway, I mean, I like the radio. It was the first mobile radio I ever had when I first got my license. And I may just send it somewhere and have somebody look at it, see if it's worth fixing.
Which one? Which one?
Which one?
Which Icom radio?
Oh, I have the Icom 706 Mark II-G.
Well, what's the one that's not working?
It's a Kenwood TM 733A.
Oh, there's your problem. It's a Kenwood. That's it. That's it.
That's not the one with all the modules, is it?
No.
It's just a dual band? Oh,
it's just a dual band.
Okay.
But when I bought it, it was great. I actually bought it secondhand. And when I bought it, it was great.
And you say you bought that 30 years ago?
Oh, I buy, 28 years ago, because I've been licensed 28 years.
28. I'm thinking, now I'm just kind of spitballing here, but I think you deserve a new radio. I'm just,
Well, you know, there's a picture of it right there.
Yeah.
You know, you could be right, you know. Talk to my wife.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Tell her we said so, you know.
Yeah, that'll help.
In our esteemed opinion, you deserve a new radio.
Let's
take a vote. Raise your hand.
Yep.
Actually got I got my eye on an Icom dual band mobile, and I'm just saving up my money on that, and it's the 2730. Either that one's just a basic radio, or I've been thinking about the I know, Peter, you got with the 4100.
4100, yeah. I picked one up off of eBay. I'm either the luckiest person in the world, or problems with buying on eBay are overblown. But
are we going to vote on that one?
Most of my station is from eBay, and it's not been a big issue for me. Yeah, I've got the 4100. I like it. It's going to go in the car, but right now it's replacing a certain 3210 that Gary's familiar with, that I have not figured out what's wrong with, but it stopped working right before the siren net. So it's all right. I have plenty of others.
One thing that I did read, and I can't remember if it's a 4100 or 5100, one of them has a problem with the LCD, and they say don't put it in your vehicle if you have hot summers, because your LCD will blank out. And they said that, I thought they said it was a 4100, but it said the 5100 doesn't have that problem, but I could have them reversed.
Well, I've got a 5100, and you know, I haven't had that problem, but it also has a head that mounts with magnets, so I don't let it sit in the really hot sun. I either cover it with something, or I shove it up under the seat so it's not in the sun a whole lot.
Yeah, well, mine's going to be in a cubby on the dash. The head will be in a cubby on the dash.
Yeah, and that's part
of that comes down over it.
That Kenwood too. It was never in direct sun, but
it gets hot enough though.
When it's 115 degrees in Texas, then inside the car it's 130.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had mine on my old Xiegu FT90. I think I left because I used to unclip the thing. It was in the dash, but I'd unclip the thing and stick it in the glove compartment, but I didn't do that one time when it was really hot out and I came back to a black display. But it cooled off and all the numbers came back. And
well, maybe the article I read, you know, if you get two people that has a problem, they think that's
There's three different answers to it. Yep.
Yeah, or there could easily be a defect in the screen too. I mean, it's not impossible.
Well, I'll tell you, the first 5100 I have lasted 2 days, and it just
that
quit
seems
working.
Short. That seems short.
Yeah, I mean, I hardly got it out of the box, and I sent it back, and Gigaparts warrantied it for me. But
well, what was the deal with it?
You know, it just wouldn't. It just went blank. I mean, it came on when I first turned it on, and 2 days later, it wouldn't even nothing. I mean, nothing on the screen. If it was coming on, I didn't know it. You know, because there was nothing on the screen. And,
that's crazy.
But anyway, I sent it back to Gigaparts, and they took care of it, sent me a new one. So
I like the look of the 5100.
So do I. I just don't have room for the head where I want the head to go, so I got the 4100.
Well, the 4100, I kind of like to get into D-Star just to have something different, you know, and but that's why we have to save a little more money. I like the Icom 2730H, the new one they got. You know, it's just a basic dual band mobile, $300 or whatever. But then I might want to save a little bit more to get something with D-Star. I don't know how popular is D-Star.
Not as popular as DMR. We've got our node at the Weather Center has the antenna is suboptimal. Let's call it that.
You're out by Blanchard. You're out by Blanchard. He's out by Larry.
Oh, he's out by Larry. Oh, yeah. So you'll have much better time with D-Star than I do.
Oh, yeah, because I could hit Larry's node, right?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
I really like D-Star. You know, I like I don't know. It's I find a lot more people I like talking to on D-Star, but I use a hotspot.
Thanks, Sam.
Well, I get on DMR and there's either a whole bunch of people or there's nobody, you know. And,
well, I didn't have much luck with DMR. I mean, I bought the cheap Chinese radio and it lasted not even 6 months.
Right.
So, and I had a heck of a time hitting the Norman repeater from Moore on DMR and holding the repeater. So
that's unusual because the DMR in Norman is in such a good place. I mean, it's right next to the 8.8 repeater. And that has, I mean, that's just a wonderful site. Wonderful.
If you're looking VHF-UHF, this is DMR, is the CS800D is a great radio for that. VHF-UHF, and then also has DMR on both.
Yeah, I think, doesn't Ed have one of those CS800s?
His 750 is the same software. I can't remember if he did buy one. I've got two. I think Sam's got two. What are you showing us, Sam?
Kenwood PhD 74.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's really nice. 3 bands plus D-Star and APRS. It's loaded, but it's not cheap. You know.
Kenwood with D-Star.
Yep, that one's got D-Star.
Yep.
And you know, I told somebody the other day the sound quality to me on D-Star is so much better, but I'm not sure that really counts for anything because I've, you know, on my left hand over here I've got a $400 radio or Kenwood that does D-Star, and over here I've got a less than $100 DMR radio. So I don't know if it's the mode or the radios. Probably the radios though.
Being told my dinner is ready, so I'm going to say goodbye.
Adios.
See you later, Peter.
See
Have
ya.
a good evening.
Thank you. See ya.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah, I found the best thing to do with DMR is just use a hotspot. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I pretty much use a hotspot for DMR and D-Star. It's just so much simpler, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a mobile, but it's like it seems like all the DMR repeaters, at least around here, just disappeared. I don't know, Don, have you found any DMR repeaters up where you're at?
Oh, me, I haven't played with it.
Yeah.
I don't have I've got a couple of GD77 handhelds that I picked up from Mark here a couple of weeks ago, but I don't have any info on. I don't know what's here. There's supposedly one in Brownsburg.
Okay.
But I need to get it programmed up.
Right.
And I don't know, you know, it's like in the repeater directory, they don't give you all the codes for that. So I'm going to have to get a hold of whoever owns the repeater and find out.
Yeah, you have to go hunt the site down and hunt whoever the owner is, or which club's running it. So there's that. Well, the only thing I did this weekend is I moved my VHF-UHF mast. I moved it around the corner and actually put it up. So it's back up at 20 feet, which is about 5 feet above my roof line. So I actually might be able to get into my local repeaters here if I ever wanted to.
Well, it was a good weekend for it.
Yeah.
Well, down here, I should say. I don't know. I forget you're way up there. Yeah, it was like in the 60s down here.
Oh, yeah, it was in the high 30s over here. It was clear, but it was in the high 30s. So
lovely afternoon here on Sunday though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's true.
I got out
my antenna. I worked on it on Saturday, so it was cold. So
I got
did that on purpose.
on Thursday, but then it got down to like 27. I had to wait till Saturday, wait till the sun came up and warm up so I could pour my concrete.
Yeah.
And then hoping that it got set up before it got down below freezing again. So it all worked out.
Is that for your mast?
That's for the, I put up 3 4x4 posts
Oh, okay.
For the guidelines for my vertical. Once I get my vertical back up,
Right.
then I decided to go maybe overkill. I don't know. I don't believe in overkill, but put up these 12-foot long post and put a screw eye in the top of it. So it'll work. And plus, I'm using one of those for one leg of my 40-meter dipole, so there it's multifunctional.
There you go. Now, consider what happened last time you were masked. I mean, I don't know. I don't think overkill's out of the question.
Correct. Yeah, and my ground's so soft out here, I needed a little bit of extra punch.
Sure. So, Mark Klein, when you were using that mini whip, do you just have it inside, or were you using it outside?
I have not used it. I have not used it. Just haven't hooked it up. It
okay.
It is. They say it is not good to do inside. It'll pick up a lot of noise.
Right.
But it's going to go up on top on the peak.
I got one on order. I'm going to put it up on top of a mast in pretty much the quietest RF zone in my on my property. So it's going to be up and away. So I was just wondering if anybody had got one up yet and played around.
No, they say the big thing from what I've read is you need some kind of counterpoise ground, something like a little metal tube off of the connector going down a ways. Nothing, no mathematics to it. Just put some counterpoise on it. My goal was to try to put up a little piece of copper pipe and then a big piece of copper pipe and then maybe a 6-gauge wire and just see what they did for differences. And I'm thinking maybe just hang it out in a tree way out in the woods somewhere and do that kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought that it uses the coax for the ground, and then you just turn it off the preamp.
I've seen both, and they say that you need to have some kind of. What I've seen is that it does better with a piece of counterpoise, but that's the goal is to test it and see what that is. And
sure.
We'll test it against Peter's loop jobby and see what the difference there is.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to, mine's not coming until the 29th, so of January.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I figure I got some time to still poke around with it because I've seen both schools of thought where they want to once you attach it to at least a 10-foot metal pipe or using the coax as your grounded coax as your to the preamp and then down. So I don't know.
Yeah. I know that a lot of the web SDR guys are using these mini whips.
Yeah.
And they're having very good luck with them. The broadband on that SDR works out really well.
Well, that was my goal too, is to use it as a receive antenna. And, to at least plug it into web SDR and take a look at SDR software and take a look at what's on the band.
Yep.
If nothing else.
That's good spotting or receive antennas are a good deal.
I have a question.
Yo, go ahead, sir.
I have got this Astron RS3580 power supply.
Your friend from before?
Huh?
The one you had before?
No. It's a different one.
Okay.
It was given to me by a coworker. He's a ham also. The power supply turns on, but it does not power up the radio.
Huh. How do you know it turns on? Let's do that first.
Here. Hold on. Let me. Okay, here it is. Yeah. There it is.
So the light comes on in the front.
And the transformer hums.
Have a voltmeter?
I think I got one somewhere. I'll have to find it.
Check the outputs and see what's coming out of it.
Or if you're brave, lick your fingers and stick them on the poles.
Or just
No,
put your
don't do
tongue
that.
right on
Don't
there.
do that.
No, don't do that
You'll
either.
do it once.
12 volts won't hurt much.
Fortunately, those
Yeah,
analog
hurt.
supplies, there's
If you ever licked a 9-volt battery to test it, it'll hurt a little more than that.
those analog supplies, there's really not much to the circuitry in those. So I would say you either got a bad wire, something's open inside, or your control board's blown. Yeah, there you go, Mark.
Or fuse.
That's like the same circuit they've used for every power supply for the last 400 years.
Yeah, and they just work. Now,
Look for a fuse. There might be one inside.
Okay.
There might be a link in there. I'm not sure if there is, but
8 amp. It shows an 8 amp fuse in the very first thing, but that would not light
that
up.
would not let the light come on.
Right. Now, Ken had a good one. Do you hear the transformer hum?
Sounded like it did when he turned it on.
I think so, yeah.
Kind of thumb noise.
Let me do it again.
You could even check the fuse.
Yeah, there's a little pound to it.
Okay, that means the transformer is probably doing its thing. Yeah, they've got 4 diodes here, which is a full wave bridge. Turns the AC into DC.
Is there an output fuse, Mark?
That's a good question.
I know one question you didn't ask, and that says, did you check your fuse on the radio's hot lead?
Yeah.
Good point.
Yep.
Might be the radio, not the power supply.
Yeah, check the fuse on the hot lead side of your radio and undo the little connector back there and pull the fuse out, see if it's bad.
Or, and again, the voltmeter is the next thing, is to put it on the output of the power supply. I don't see another fuse. I mean, 723 is just a boilerplate old.
IC regulator chip.
Yeah, that's just been around forever.
Yep.
Fuse is good on the radio, and there's a fuse in the back. And it's
Well, that's going to be for your main. That's going to be for your mains power. So.
Right, and that's his first one here. So it's 8 amp is what it says. I don't know what you got in there now, but
yeah, no. The question I had was on the radio itself.
Yeah, and he said that was good.
Is the cords coming off the radio? Is there a fuse link in it?
Yes, sir, and it's good.
Okay. Mark's next idea would be to use a voltmeter and check the outputs of the power supply.
This is their pin voltage. Do you have one of these schematics?
That's what I was going to point out as a fact. You can go check all those test points and kind of pinpoint it down a little further.
No, can you?
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
There's a link to that. That's got it's got a bunch of different pins where you can check voltages to see what's going on in there.
Okay.
Like there's a little table that says the pin number and then no load voltage and full load voltage, and that's on A1. Which is that our 723 op amp or voltage regulator? Probably is. I don't see it called A1, but it's got 13 pins, and this is calling out 13 pins. So this shows every pin that should be coming out of that voltage regulator. And if you check those voltages against it, make a little table like this for what you see at no load. then we can probably look at it again. But man, those are bulletproof little doodads. I think those control boards are available.
Last time I checked, they were, but that's been a few years.
Yeah, they just sit and run.
I seem to recall that there's a capacitor that goes bad on those Astrons, and I don't remember which one. It's blanking on me, but it'll cause it not to put anything through the output, and I don't remember which one it was.
What is the transformer output, Mark? Does it tell you?
I don't know. It's a good question.
It's going to be 30 volts or so.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood.
What's the model number of that power supply?
Let me check that quick.
35 and something dash 35.
Oh, it's an RS-35A.
The 35A is no meters, 35M is with meters.
Yep.
That's the only difference.
Yep.
Regulator board is $27 from Astron, brand new, fully populated.
There you go. And that's transform.
I'd run those.
And that's presuming that's what you need, and it's not a pass transistor or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd run those test points, find out if you get the voltages that are specified, and then go from there.
Yep.
So you have more than one power supply or more than one radio. Try another radio on it if you're brave.
Well, or a voltmeter when you find the
voltmeter is a handy thing if you got it. If you don't have it, then plugging something else in that you know works for something else will tell you if the supply's dead or not. A 12-volt light bulb from a car lamp, a headlamp, a tail light, something like that. Just some jumper leads and light up the bulb. But it could make voltage at low current, and it could be shutting down due to current sense. So. Do you have another power supply for your other radio?
Yes, and I hooked it up to that one, and it works fine on that.
It works fine on that one. So the supply is not putting anything out, and likely, or it's crowbarring when it sees any kind of a load.
Oh, okay.
Like so, when you hook the wires up, does it spark as you hook it up?
No.
That probably is indicating nothing.
It could be as simple as a cold solder joint inside on the power that feeds the pass transistors. It could be anything really, but most likely, if the transformer hums when you turn it on, you're probably making power on the secondary. And if the bridge rectifier didn't blow, then it's 50-50 then whether you got a pass transistor problem or the chip's bad. And the chips are cheap and easy.
Okay.
So if you ever do one like that, put a socket in and then put a new chip in. Take out the old one, and
okay.
That makes life easy down the road.
Yeah,
when you make it Murphy proof, when you make it easy to repair Murphy, just go somewhere else.
Document what you find and then bring it back, and we can probably look at it again with those pieces.
Yeah, if the transformer is good, it's worth having. I mean, it's a good supply otherwise.
Right. Spend the money to fix it, because this shows here 150 to 225 is what they're getting for them. That's just crazy for used ones.
Those Astrons are super good and super steady usually. So
yeah, I've got a 20 that I bought in 1985, and it's been on every day since, and it just runs. It just runs.
Yeah,
I guess it'd be a control board.
Yeah. Well, I know I got a voltmeter around here somewhere. It's either in storage or it's here in the apartment. I'll have to find it, but I know I got one.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you something to do. Those big old pass transistors on the back are the ones that actually pass the voltage or pass the current, and they get warm if you use them.
Yeah, they don't throw those heat sinks on there for nothing.
Yeah. I usually put mine underneath the desk and use it for a footrest in the winter.
Oh yeah, these parts are pretty cheap. Okay. So I'll have to find out.
Like Ken said, if the transformer is good, it's worth fixing.
Yeah, pass transistors are a couple of bucks a piece at the most, and it's unlikely that it wouldn't be blowing the main fuse if you had a shorted pass transistor. So you probably don't have that.
Yeah.
And that little chip on there could well be bad, or just anything around it. But
yeah.
But that $27 replacement board, that's not a bad deal if everything else checks out.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
No.
Yeah, it's worth fixing. By all means, fix it.
Yep.
And they've made 1 million of those supplies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you can make it work, you can have it. So I was like, okay, that's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a really
good deal.
That's a really good deal. Yeah.
that indicates there was a problem.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. That's the best indicator.
There's not much to them really.
Yeah, there should be that board and then those 4 passes. I think is the only thing that's in there. I've been inside mine in 25 years probably. But I can't believe 185. I remember Ed paid whatever it was. He was looking for a supply, and I said, "You need to either buy that one or I will, because it's just too good a deal." The guy was he knew it was a good deal. And he says, "I'm tired of it. I don't want to mess with it. I want to take it home." And I think it was 85 or something silly. What'd you say, Sam?
What was the brand on it?
Astron. Astron 35A is a 35 amp peak. It said it's 25 amp continuous. And they have one with meters, and Ed was worried about having a meter or not. And I said, I always put the stupid things under the desk, and if the thing hums real loud, then you're pulling a big load.
I just posted a troubleshooting link from Repeater Builder as well to the chat.
Oh, good, thanks. Repeater Builder's got a bunch of great stuff. Oh, there you go. No output. Run B and C. Change the fuse. Yeah, we did that. Measure the voltage. No. Didn't blow. Yeah, that is a very good document, Don, man. I'll put that in the show notes for the deal. Let's see. They just work for me. Typically people do something, like short them out or something and cause problems, but I haven't seen them go bad. They might have some issues. Oh yeah, there's some base to emitter voltage. You can check stuff. Oh yeah.
Hey Mark.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of a Icom 25 amp?
Icom.
SECOM. 25 amp power supply.
Neither is Google. What? No, I can't even find Google, or Google can't even find one.
It's SECOM, or is it CCON? Let me look. No, it's CCOM.
Okay.
SECOM 25 amp.
I see ccompower.it.
Huh.
Yeah, SECOM.
Yeah.
25 amp power supply.
Translate to English. Great.
Yeah, it's Italian.
It's made in Hong Kong.
Well, yeah.
Of course it is.
Did you find me a job over there at SpaceX yet, Gary?
Sure.
So they need somebody to sweep the floors.
I'm sure they do.
Or just pick up trash is probably the right answer after that last.
Hey, at least you get to associate with them.
Linda was amazed at the sea of Airstream trailers that all of the techs were living in. I mean, there's like 30 or 40 of them just parked out there, row after row after row, across the road and down about a mile from the launch site.
Yeah, that's
so having a portable ham shack as a job requirement. That sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Hey, Roger, I didn't see you there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I just was thinking about you today. I saw my watt meter, and I was wondering if you'd ever got anything radio working that either the 520 or something else up and running.
Yeah, I got a Xiegu G90, and then I got a Radio Wavz DX40. It's a off-center fed dipole hung up in the back, so it's for 40 meters. So I've been listening on that.
Did you push the button yet?
I did some on 10 meters. I've been listening in on the 10 meter nets that go on in my area, but I don't have my general yet. That's my big hurdle right now is trying to get studied up for that.
There's stuff on 10 meters you don't have to have general for, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Were you able to listen to any of the nets? Did you hear any of those?
Yeah, I heard the Edmond Amateur Radio Club. I heard theirs. But I did not hear Scars.
Yeah, since you moved away from us.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you tried transmitting? Will it transmit?
Yeah.
Good SWR?
Yeah. I'm using the onboard SWR meter. I still need to get an external SWR.
Yep.
But yeah, I get good SWRs.
Neat. So what's the biggest thing you've heard?
So I hear Radio Free Cuba out of Miami. That's pretty cool. From like I think 10 to midnight. And then I heard a pop AM station out of Taiwan. That was pretty cool. And then as far as contesting stuff, I listened in on the 10 meter contest a few weeks back. That was pretty cool. And then I hear a whole lot of traffic on 40, particularly in the morning and around noon. I've been actually just kind of familiarizing myself because I'm obviously studying for my general, so I'm trying to get more familiar with all the bands. And I've also been listening on 20 more recently as well. That's a new band for me, but I didn't realize there was that much traffic that I could hear there.
Oh yeah, 20 will be getting good. That's a good band. It's earlier in the day. It'll shut off at night, but that's a great band. 15's gonna be a good band when the bands come in a little bit, but the 20's a good ones to. They always called 20 the gentleman's band, and in opposition to 80. which was not the Gentleman's Band. But good. What are you, Matt, lacking to do on your general? You ready to go for, oh shoot, our January test is coming. That's what Peter was talking about. That's next week.
Oh man. What day is that?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
9 days, baby. You can do it.
I think I could cram. I think I could get that.
And nothing to lose at trying.
Yeah.
Just
Nothing
a trip
to
down to
lose.
Norman. Just a trip down to Norman.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a shot. I was curious. Is anybody here familiar with the term Portishead radio?
Spell, please.
What's that?
Spell it, please.
Portishead.
No, I think there's a band called Portishead.
Oh yeah, there is actually. I remember hearing about that. I was just curious if any of you guys were familiar with that station. I'd heard of some about it recently. It was
No, is a brand of radio?
No, it was an old maritime shortwave station out of England, and they, I guess, shut down in 2005. But I kind of went down a YouTube rabbit hole recently and learned about this old station. I was just curious if any of you guys had worked it or heard anything about it before.
That's a Peter Laws question, I think.
Its call sign was GKA, Golf Kilo Alpha.
It wasn't one of those out on the ocean, was it?
Yeah, it was out on the ocean. I believe they were primarily a maritime station, but then they also did just regular ham traffic as well.
Maritime meaning they wanted to get out of the legal restrictions for countries is probably what they were. There's a couple of places that have no basically radio. They're all international stuff, so they hide out of those and pirate radio out of them. But I don't know if was this pirate?
No, my understanding is it wasn't.
Never heard of it. GB, holy cow!
Yeah, that was an actual maritime coast station.
Yeah, I'm actually working on like a little YouTube documentary on this for my channel. So
cool. Well, let me know. We'll put a thing out in the newsletter.
Thank you.
Check your email, Klein.
Okay. From you or from somebody else?
From me.
Okay, because I just got something from somebody else wanting to do a technician class or license.
Hey, Roger.
Yes, sir.
There's a couple of stations out on the West Coast. They're not active right now because of the COVID, but they have a society out there. I'll get that information for you, and I'll post it in the chat. All right?
Okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll check that out.
Cool.
You mean same kind of thing like this, John?
No, they're an old time. Well, I shouldn't say old time. They're they've been around for a while, but they were doing CW traffic for maritime from ships. They have a society that it deals with that has a couple stations out near. Oh gosh, I think it's up near San Francisco, and I think another one's down near Point Magoo, but I'm not sure of locations. But give me a minute. I'll throw the link in the show notes.
Cool, thanks.
I'm going to go ahead and back out. I got to go take the.
Okay, Brett.
I got to go take the dog outside. So
grab a voltmeter and give us some numbers.
Good luck with that power supply.
Yeah, Brett, I posted a link to a video on there too, so check that out when you get a chance.
Let me put it on the main computer right quick because I can't get on the. Okay.
This will all be in the YouTube notes, Brett, if you want to just come back after a while. and
Okay.
I'll have them all in the notes.
Oh, okay.
Cool. See you later. See you later.
Well, I think I'm going to fade. I got to go see what happened. I launched another resistor. I got to go and search.
Well, you should work for SpaceX. You launch a lot.
I tell you what, man, it's something.
Cats, man.
Thankfully, I have an extra for that one, so only no spares now.
Now it counts.
Yep. Anyway, hey, it's been fun. See y'all later.
See you later, Ken.
Bye.
Good deal. Who showed up? I think Bob showed up in there. I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's got an empty chair. Oh, well. He's just doing his thing. Oh, well. So, Roger, you're going to get ready to study. You're going to be there Thursday. You're going to ace the test or at least get it less than 10. That's my man.
I will get the test completed. We'll see.
Good.
No, I had the practice test on my phone, so I've been going through that and familiarizing myself. So
yeah, if you get 82 or above, you're usually in pretty good shape. So
don't forget to register with Peter.
Yeah,
that you're coming to the testing.
Okay.
He does appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, I see. They register for testing.
Yep. And
you're online on the SCAR's website.
Yep. That helps a bunch. Makes everybody happy. So did you make a vision or make any contact with anybody on the radio yet, or are you just still listening?
On HF, unfortunately, I've only been listening. I haven't actually made any contacts just yet. I've made, a few on 2 meter, but nothing yet in the way of HF.
Good. And again, I think I remember telling you, listen for 500 hours, and you can. It's amazing how much you can learn just by listening. Can you see that already?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's when you start tuning and playing around with the different knobs and hearing how it all works. It's a lot easier to, like you said, understand the test material when you are turning knobs and something happens.
Yeah, I've just because of the license limitations, I've dabbled some with CW. Do not have I can key, but I can't hear it. Like I can't receive it just that good yet. So
yeah, that's always the hard part. And there's some places that are slow code in there. So if you look, find you a good place that's got slow code, and people will, if you get brave, people will. Those slow code guys know that they're new people that they're talking to, and they work very well with it. If you get over, the 15, 20 word a minute guys, they're just going to blaze, but those slow guys will hang in with you.
The ARRL has I've been listening to 7.048, and they in the evenings, and they start out slow and they get faster, but they do pages out of QST, articles, and if you look on their website, it'll tell you so you can actually follow along and see if you're getting it right. It's kind of interesting.
That is a good point.
They've been blowing me out lately. I don't know what they must be in Tulsa or something.
What frequency did you say that was on?
7.048.
7.048.
40 meter. It's been 40 meters got a lot more CW on it than 20 meters. At least that I'm picking up.
I'm going to call it, gentlemen. See you next
All
week.
righty.
See you,
Thanks for
John.
coming
All right.
by.
Have a good
Appreciate it,
evening.
John. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
I got your link. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here too, guys. Enjoying it, but Sarah's trying to wind down for the night, and
Good for you.
it's quiet. No matter how quiet I try to be in here, it disturbs her.
I understand.
Have a good evening, Don.
See you, Don. Thanks for stopping by.
Better guy.
Online. So Gary, did you get anything done for radio down there in the big Laguna Vista, or are you still out of boxes?
Well, we still have several is an understatement. We still have boxes to unpack. Let's just say that I know all the places where I can take flattened cardboard. Whenever I make a trip to Harlingen, which is pretty much about every 7 to 10 days, the back of the pickup gets emptied. I can show, I told you about having the two 2-inch conduits coming into the office from the front yard.
Yep.
Let me show you how my conduits look and work. Can you see those?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a 2-inch going up to the attic.
We've got two 2-inchers going up into the attic as well. And bless their hearts, the guys, when they put the conduit in out to the front yard, they literally buried it 4 feet underground.
What?
It's under everything. It's awesome.
Do you get brackish water?
Do what?
You get brackish water that into that thing? 4 feet under is like sea level, right?
No, no. Actually, our slab is 13 feet, but all the PVC is bonded, so it should not leak.
Yeah.
But it's underneath everything. I mean, nobody needs to go as low as those conduits to do water, power, sprinkler systems, anything. If they get that stuff, they screwed up big time.
Yeah.
So anyway,
neat.
I've done my initial pass through the HOA, and all I really need to do is the paperwork and tell them where I'm going to plant it and go from there.
Cool.
But while it's winter here, I'm going to get up in the attic and do some antenna work in the attic, which is pretty nice because I've got a pretty nice access hatch that's in my closet. But the good thing about it is that even in the summertime, the underside of the eaves is what's insulated. The insulation's not sitting on top of the ceiling. So the attic itself, above the main part of the house, is just a few degrees warmer than the house itself. It's not like it's outside. So yeah. So I'm gonna experiment with loops that run around the attic several times. Take one long wire and run it around the attic several times and see how that works. And I'll have a good place to put dual band antennas because I got a pretty tall roof, and I'll just hang it from the peak up there and go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, Gary, where are you? It says
Laguna Vista.
In Florida? Texas. Okay.
You know where Port Isabel is?
No.
Port Isabel is the west end of the bridge that you go across the bridge to South Padre Island.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Laguna Vista shares a city limit sign with Port Isabel.
Oh.
And so Yeah, I mean, we can be in South Padre Island in 12, 14 minutes. Unless all of the tourists are in town, then things slow down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a 20-minute drive to Brownsville and 25-minute drive to Harlingen. I've got 5 Home Depots and 3 Lowe's within a 35-minute drive of the house. So there you have it. Yeah. I'm good.
How many ham radio outlets are there?
0.
Dallas.
0. This is why God invented buying things online.
Yeah.
Although there used to be a really nice ham radio place in Harlingen that flew under the radar. They had no online presence. It was walk-in only, but they bid it about 20 years ago. So anyway, there are a number of hams here. In fact, there are 5 other or 6 other amateurs that are in this development. And once we get all the boxes unpacked and get a little more settled, we're all going to have coffee together and talk about doing radio in an HOA and how you can do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got votes, you know, that's good. You know, have some clout.
Yeah. Yeah. My builder was very helpful. I said, so can I put up a flagpole in my yard, even if it is being used as an antenna? And he leans over to me and says, it's a flagpole, right? And I said, yes, it is. Yep. They pencil whip flagpoles for, you know, it takes them all of 30 seconds to sign the paperwork and say it's okay.
Charlene just walked by and heard your voice and said, say hi.
Hi, Charlene.
She smiled.
Charlene smiles?
There's no 8th graders around, so she can smile.
For you, Gary. I mean,
oh, okay.
Now she's really smiling, Sam.
Remember this. Remember this is on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I'm unconcerned.
Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. I can't wait to see what that big vertical does, and we can do some.
Me too. Neither. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And recently, Gray Line has made pretty much every one of their flagpoles 160 to 6 meters. Even they've even reworked the shorter ones to function on 160. And if you can believe the launch angle charts that they have, they're all pretty similar. That just the gain's a little worse on the shorter antennas as opposed to the taller ones.
We looked at that other day. We had somebody on here that wanted to had a question about that, and we were looking at that they were listing the shorter ones as 160, and everybody was scratching their head, going, "What did they do?"
Well, it's in effect, it's an off-center fed dipole, is what it is inside the antenna. They're not tuning a metal surface on the outside. They have an off-center fed dipole on the inside that's fed with window line inside the outer shell. The outer shell looks like metal, but it's not. So that's the way they make it work, because it's just an off-center fed dipole on the inside that's up and down instead of hanging side to side in the yard. Which, you know, I mean, I did off-center fed dipole crap in the backyard in Norman, so it works pretty good. Yeah. They just turned theirs vertical instead of horizontal.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll do some real live testing here maybe in about 3 months. I think once I get all the boxes unpacked and we get things sorted out, then I'll feel more comfortable ordering stuff and working out in the yard. But the conduit's already out there, so that's good to go.
Yeah. Yep. Good.
Hey, Gary, is there a control box on the outside of that flagpole at the base?
Whiskey 5, Lima Hotel Golf, Galveston, Texas.
There is a you put an antenna tuner at the base.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I got 2 or 3 different antenna tuners, but I'm going to do one of those fake rocks and put it at the base of the thing, and it's going to have the antenna tuner in there.
Lima Hotel
Jumper goes from there to the window line, and I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you have to have a tuner there, and I could do the tuner in the house, but I'm not. I want as much power as possible going all the way out to the tuner, and the shortest connections as I can make it from the tuner to the connections for the antenna itself to the flagpole. But that's just me. Yeah, I can power it over the coax, so it's no big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to bail.
All righty.
Gary, I just posted a link in chat room for a very good flagpole.
Okay. Who makes it?
High gain, I think.
Okay. I'll go look at it.
Yeah, high gain.
Okay.
Yeah, and it would work very well for you.
Well, yeah. No. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I if it's that one that I'm looking at, it might be I might have a little bit of a problem with the HOA. Yeah.
Nice little budget starter tower.
Yeah.
Are they unpatriotic or what?
No, they're not unpatriotic, but
they're smarter than this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So the tower just holds up the antenna? Is that the antenna on the side?
No, the tower is the antenna.
Yeah,
Okay.
the tower is the antenna.
What's this lead on the side? Is that
That's the driver. That's the what do you call it?
driven element? No.
The driven element.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's the what do they call it?
Probably the tuning stub.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tuning stub.
Holy crap! It's only good for 75-mile-an-hour wind. That won't work around here.
No.
That's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Of course, that's unguide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Flagpoles
I
don't have guys.
haven't seen the price yet, Mark. Are you?
Oh, that's a good point.
Good rating.
Gentlemen, y'all have a great Tuesday evening. What's left of it.
Thanks,
See you
sir.
later, Gary. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Oh, there it is. That's about what he's looking at.
That's not bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, me too. That's about what he's looking at for the one in the gray line one he's wanting to put down there. 53-footer. Yikes.
That might draw a little attention there in the HOA.
Yikes.
Are the things at the bottom of that? I don't know if you can see them in the pictures, but is that common for like a tower, or is that just specific for this antenna type?
What are you calling the things at the bottom? This here?
Radials.
Yeah, the
Those
radial.
Those are radials. And for any vertical, you're going to need a counterpoise, and that's very common for vertical antennas. So depending on your attitude, you either hate them because verticals are horrible, or you love them because verticals are wonderful. Verticals tend to do more lower takeoff angle. So DX kind of guys who want to get Europe and those kind of things really get the benefit out of the verticals.
Gotcha.
And that's a religious thing. There's people that hate them and love them, and they're just different. They're longer. It's kind of a longer antenna. If you're trying to get from here to Tulsa, they're not a good choice. But if you're trying to get long distance, the verticals work out really well for that. And yeah, that's typical. You know, that's probably, I would say, overkill. But but you know, where's Wayne? Is he still on here? Yeah, he's still there. He's got his motorcycle, but that's over. Yeah, that's over. You wouldn't even put that many radios out, would you, Wayne?
Well, the antenna that I got doesn't require radials, but then that's pretty overkill there too.
All right, he said it. Yeah, that's Gary's. Gary on his way out gave a link to his antenna.
I'm trying to think. I was looking at a vertical when I first got into this, but they said it didn't need radials. But
that's this vertical. This is like Gary's does not. It's an off-center fed dipole. It is not a vertical. It is not a vertical. But
yeah.
But Gary's does not. And it's like Wayne's does not need it. He's looking at this 28 footer is what he's looking at.
It's nice.
I'm wondering if you get a lot of RF off of that, if you're near power lines or anything like that.
Verticals tend to pick up a little more noise than others, but just a little bit, not really bad.
So you probably have to put some type of filter in line?
Oh, not really. Not really.
You can just turn down your RF gain.
Yeah. That would get it, but
boy, Mark, I wonder what kind of stress would be on that 28-foot vertical pole, the flag pole, at 75, 80 mile an hour winds around here.
I don't know what that one's rated for. Let's see.
I don't know. I've got a 20-footer, and you know, I've hardly ever take my flag down. It kind of waves around up there, but
this says 80 to 100 mile an hour is what it says.
That ain't bad.
Norman's code says you have to be engineered for 90 miles an hour. So that's not bad. Of course, 2 weeks after I found the code, got it passed, and got a tower up, we had 135 mile an hour sustained at our office and folded an 80-foot tower. Those things happen.
Yeah, the insurance, right?
Well, the guy that put it up had another tower, so we just put another one up in place, and he used the 3/4 of the tower that was there for a project that had a shorter requirement. That's we do our data through that, and I work with the guy that provides that service, Del Nero Internet, DCM Internet, and he uses that tower to resell stuff. So it's kind of a joint venture, shall we say. Kind of nice. We got it, pulled the old one down, had the new one up in about 45 minutes. It's a tilt over jobby.
Well, guys, I'm gonna head out to.
All right, Sam, you got me going on this Z-Wave stuff. So
okay. I sent you some emails, and
I saw those. So is there anything that I don't need to buy that you've got for me, or?
Well, we can play around with it. I've got an old controller. I probably still works. Haven't hooked it up in a long time, but.
Well, I'll probably get a controller. I'll need a controller, so I'll have to when I look at controllers, I'll get your opinions.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of different ones out there. I took my son's recommendation, and then 2 weeks after I bought mine, he bought a different brand. After he recommended brand A for me, he bought something different. But
what'd he buy?
I think he bought Smart Things. I bought a Vera, and he bought a Smart Things. I'm pretty sure, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's and then all of them now interface with the Alexa devices, and so you can. I can be Skyping with him and turn lights on and off in his house,
See, my big thing is controlling lights in the other building and outdoor lights. I think that's what you sold me on last week was I've got a bunch of outside stuff I want to do, and running switch wiring is going to be a pain. But if I just do a big loop of power wire and then put these little controllers on there, I can control anything I want.
Yeah, you can control it from the house. All righty. Well, guys, you all take care. Mark, thanks again.
Take care, Sam.
All right, guys.
Bye. 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 Who else is floating around? Oh, there's Bob's back. I can see half or a quarter of Bob. He's sneaking into the video. There he is.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, Bob. How's tricks in your world?
Just watching the snowstorm.
Oh, my goodness. Where's it at?
Currently, there's a band from eastern Iowa up through extreme northern Illinois, and then into lower Michigan. Pretty narrow band. They're getting up to 6-8 inches in some places. There's gonna be another storm coming up from the Gulf on Thursday. We might get the edge of it Thursday night.
We getting anything tonight?
Yeah, there'll be some rain showers. Excuse me. There's a band that's slowly approaching us. It's pretty narrow along the cold front. I imagine we'll get some rain after midnight.
I'm more excited about the Thursday night into Friday. We probably get about 2 inches of snow here.
Yeah, we could.
At least that's what they're predicting.
Yeah, it's a typical winter storm path.
Yeah, I guess it should get cold here soon. I'm not a fan, but I guess we have to do what we have to do.
As long as there's not that ice,
I can share my.
We're okay, because I don't want to you tear down another computer, another
antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can share my screen if you want to see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Again, it might be a problem with.
Go ahead.
There we go. Let's try it. There we go. Let's see here. I guess. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's Iowa. Yeah, Iowa's getting hammered. Good for them.
We're getting some moderate snow in this area. Yeah, this kind of trails back in Oklahoma, but it's very narrow. Of course, it's rain, not snow.
Yeah, we're
Could be a
supposed
little
to,
freezing rain.
we're supposed to get a thunderstorm sometime between midnight and 2 a.m. tonight.
Yeah, probably an outside chance of some thunder. I can move this. I can move this sector here. Let's see, it might take a little time to update, but let's see, right there. This takes a while to load on my screen, so all the different
We got a map.
images that have to. Got a map. Yep. Got
Nothing
wind
happening.
marks.
That's what I kind of like.
It's all black at the moment. There we go.
There we go. There's some wind.
Yeah, it hasn't quite completely
There's
loaded yet.
oh wow! Look at that little bitty blast. Is that batch south of us? Is that real?
It's real. Yeah, probably just a little wave of some kind.
That's a wind front.
Man, that thing's small.
Oh, they said with this that comes through, Mark, it's supposed to be have 50, 55 mile an hour winds with it.
What are you showing there, Bob, for winds?
Oh, the winds aren't too strong on, on the surface from right now. I see 15 knots, pretty typical out ahead of that front. Not too strong behind it. There's some stronger cores there that, the way it stopped looping. There we go. Yeah, down to our west, there's some stronger reflectivity, so could rain hard. Not moving real fast, but not that far away.
No. Do we think that's snow or rain?
It's all rain, yeah.
Where there's no.
Although there could be some snow on the back edge later.
You think that line's gonna keep coming all the way southeast through us?
Yes. I was going to see if I can bring up the Oklahoma Mesonet and see that a little better. There we go. That'll give us the temperatures where we can actually read them.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever comes up. There we go. Yeah, so it's near 40, 38, 39, maybe the coldest up in this area. Wow, they had 1.5 inches of rain up in this area already. Their ceiling had an 1.5 inches of rain.
Whoa. Just think if that was snow.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be heavy rain when that moves through.
No kidding. Wow. Burr.
The sky is clean. Did you just take it? Yeah. Yeah, my wife just said the sky, there's some breaks in the clouds. You can actually see the full moon.
Really?
Clouds are
disappearing.
Yeah, here's that band. Oh, let's see where it goes. There's that band we saw that was to us moving northward.
Yeah. Guess it's real. Guess what? Uh-oh, we shook Peter K out. We didn't have to say his name 3 times yet tonight.
That's funny.
Peter K, Peter K, Peter K.
Evening.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Oh, I don't want rain.
You're gonna get a pretty hefty shower tonight, Mark. Make sure your cables are unhooked if we get some lightning with it.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything. Well, I got 3 or 4 things, but they always stay plugged in. Repeater audio and the UHF, VHF stays on. So that's just fine. ORD, what are they showing? 29 Fahrenheit. Yikes. MSN. Yeah, my friends in Wisconsin have had less snow than we've had here.
Oh, they'll be getting some out of this.
Good. Bury them.
Yeah, this and the one on Friday too.
Good.
Yeah, you know, Mark. You know, Mark. I was thinking that I've had 9 inches so far here. If we get 2 more on Friday, we'll have 11 inches for the month of December.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you located exactly?
I'm in the south part of Oklahoma City. I'm right along the Oklahoma City Moore line. I live just off of Bryant, south of 89th Street, southeast 89th, and northeast 27th Street.
Wow.
Yeah, and
incredible.
that Sunday, about 2 weeks ago, I had 5 inches recorded here, and then the Tuesday after that, I had 4. And then they're talking I might get in this particular area where I am, I'll get 2 inches by Friday. So that'll be 11 inches just this month.
Wow. Yeah, we've only had 2 in Norman.
Yeah. I was called him a liar and he'd show me a picture.
I got photographs.
I know.
I can show you it measured officially.
Well, you've heard of COCORAS, haven't you? The Cooperative Rain and Snow Measurement Network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jerry Krieger's.
Yeah, I looked on there, and yeah, there were several that had 3 to 5 inches in that area. It looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when that was happening. I told Mark, "You're crazy. We've got nothing." And he had 5 inches sitting there on the ground. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
We got nothing. We were lucky. I mean, it was like 2 miles from the house. You could see a big difference between, I'm at 84th and 9, 2 miles west, and man, you could see a big difference. Big difference.
But you know,
the latest fall. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask: is the latest forecast? Are we supposed to be seeing some of the white stuff?
Thursday night into Friday.
Okay. Yeah, of course. I thought I checked this afternoon, and they kind of push. You know, where is that? Well, I don't know where it is, but Thursday night into Friday. I guess so.
Yeah. I can get as much as 2 inches right here where I sit.
Yeah, the line looks to me like it's Mark's house in Northwest is where, I mean, it's literally Moore and Northwest is going to be snow, and then the rest of us is rain.
Right.
But half a degree makes a big difference.
Yes, it does.
Big difference. Peter, did you get your mini whip up? We talked about you. I didn't do mine.
I'm just following your lead.
Yeah. Peter Laws bought something called an MLA 30.
Yeah, that one seems to be really popular on for the SWL crowd. I've been reading up on it on the swlink.com.
Well, good, because
right, yeah, it's the MLA loop.
we're gonna take my little mini whip out there, and we're gonna put it up next to his MLA 30, and we're gonna try to do some AB stuff against his 4080 antenna, and just try different setups to see how that works, because I've never heard of the MLA 30.
Yeah, and there's a couple of different there are a couple of different suppliers from what I understand. Hey, you know what? Actually, what about the other one is go with what that SDR station you've been using out east 9V1RM. If you go to his that web SDR, he links to the loop amplifier that he uses. It's a semi kit out of Europe, and that one seems pretty well engineered.
Ah, okay.
If you go to that 9V1RM's web SDR, then he's got he's what he's using, and then the antenna, and they just sell the amp. You got to go make the loop yourself, but it's a semi kit form, and it looks substantial. You go and look at the circuitry. Looks, it's not just some high gain, low noise FETs and things like that. Some differential amp and don't know what else.
Very cool. Yeah, I've seen his picture of his loop that he has.
Yeah, but he's got a link. There's a link to it. Let me go. Hold on. Moving boxes around as always.
In May, the dispatch stopped. The 37-year-old former lawyer on Monday, Chinese court sentenced John for 4 years in prison for quote, picking quarrels, physical and verbal in court. Secretary of State Pompeo said the world relied heavily on unfounded reports from people like John. The balance that heavily manipulated information coming from China's government about China. I call them Beijing clearly. The Justice Department says it will not bring that.
Well, guys, I'm going to step out.
All right. See you later, Mark.
Yeah, you guys have a great week. Be safe.
Good deal.
And don't get blown away.
Try not to.
All righty, Mark. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to all you guys,
In a couple of days.
Yep, Happy New Year to all you guys. Take care. I'll catch up with you later.
Larry, you got slowed down, it looks like. Are you all bedded in?
I'm back to the condo.
Oh, good. Oh, there's Steve, too. Good for you. You're staying down there for a week or so, or family?
Yep.
Or? Good. Good. Anything to report from down there?
It's been nice and sunny. Tomorrow the rain's supposed to come in, I think. But, it's been right around 70s in the afternoon.
Yeah. It's not that here. I don't know what it was for a high today, but it wasn't bad, but there's no wind.
It's been windy here today, real windy.
Well, good deal. There's Steve made it back. Did you did you have an issue for us, Steve? Nah, you're mute. You're unmuted, or you muted. Hit your button. Hit your go button. There you go.
Just sitting here listening.
Okay. I saw you pop in and out, and just didn't know if you had something with needed or.
Pizza run.
Ooh. You know, I haven't had pizza in a long time.
That's all that's left.
Oh, I had a sandwich like that earlier. They gave me hell for licking the plate.
I tried to eat off camera.
Oh, well. So, Roger, you done anything good besides just listen to the Xiegu, or?
Well, I don't know if y'all give me a hard time about it, but I found this antique shop, and I picked up a vintage CB radio. It's a high gain. It's a 1975. I paid $10 for it, and it still works. I've been listening in on CB, which is pretty cool.
Everybody will give you a hard time about it, but every ham used to be a CBer, and every CBer is a future ham, so it always works out great.
I figured you guys have an obligatory hard time to give, but man, it was too good of a find to pass up. It still came with the old document and like schematics and stuff. It's a high gain. It's not, a Kenwood or anything, but it was a super, super cool.
High gain antenna?
High gain CB radio.
Oh, the radio. Oh, radio.
Yeah.
Was it crystals or did it have synthesized rig?
Yeah, crystals.
Oh man, them is good ones.
Only a 22 channel.
I remember those days.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Awesome. There's a place called JB's Analog in Yukon. So I got this CB radio, and I think I paid like 16, and I got a SWR meter as well. So it's not bad. Neat. Yeah, I was actually hoping to ask you, Mark, do you know, I think you had mentioned that you had a contact that I could reach out to about my Kenwood TS530S. I was wanting to see if I could get that looked at.
Yeah. It's one of our guy in my office. And he said he probably has a set of finals for it if it's bad finals, is what his story was last time we talked. But,
nice.
Yeah, if you want to do you come down this way sometimes or?
No, but I can definitely make a trip. It's not super far from my house.
Okay. Now that you got your Xiegu up and running, I'm sure he'll be happy to look at it. And if he's got a set of finals, he'll make you a good deal on those. Should run through the radio pretty cheap and be a good find.
Yeah.
So whenever you get bored, give me a holler and we'll pick it up.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. I think that'll be next for me, is getting this online. It'll be a nice little 100-watt radio to figure out how to use.
Yep. And I've got another 530 here at the house that I can pull out and we can compare against it and let him take a look. Very good. I don't know if I got Peter. You got anything? You're sitting there pretty quiet. That's not a good sign. And by the way, yes, I did hear you guys until midnight last week. I had it up, the speaker up. I just couldn't get a word in edgewise between you two guys.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's that. Oh man. So hold on. Who was that?
You and Bob.
So did Roger get a new? Roger, you got the antenna all. You got a new setup for the antenna. You have it all tuned up.
Yeah.
The Xiegu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, remember the last time you had your dipole was a little too long or something like that.
Yeah, I just bought 50 feet of wire basically, and so that's what I was. I just made a dipole out of that. I wasn't really broadcasting, so, and the G90 has a tuner, so it was, I guess, closer to 40, but not quite long enough. but I just sent a link to the antenna that I have up now. So this is Radio Wavz. I'd never really heard much about the company, but it's a solid build. It comes with a 4-to-1, I believe, Anon.
Oh, okay, thanks. Let me checking it out. Oh, that's offset effect then.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Radio Wavz, isn't that same company that sells all of those DMR radios and stuff?
I don't know about that. I believe they're more famous for selling these really, really big. Hold on, I'll show you.
Cobwebs or the big beams?
Yeah.
That's where I know them from. They're the guys down at Hamcom that always had antennas hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, I'm thinking about Radio Oddity.
Yeah, Radio Oddity.
No, that's different. No, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah, I just sent a link to the one that they're more familiar or more.
Yeah,
I guess
those are good. Everybody I know thinks they're great.
Yeah. KI6NAZ ham radio crash course. He actually reviewed one of those really big cobweb radio, cobweb antennas. I believe Radio Wavz gave him one basically.
Yeah. Yep. No, they were good stuff, and I talked to the guys down in Dallas, and good guys, good product. I'm sure this off-center thread's a good thing too.
That stinks. What happened to the Dallas HamCon?
Yeah, I don't know any details, but I know that they were running on empty. It felt like they were running on empty the last couple of years. And I think we in Oklahoma City, we had to change significantly 3 years ago, and I just said, here's what we got to do, and we'll make a change, and we did it, and had a really good turnout in 2019. And Dallas, I don't think they did it that way. They still went the old school way. They just didn't worry about change, and
maybe Bill just got tired and had enough.
Yeah, and I know Jim's been out of it for a while. Jim McClellan, who used to do a lot of that, and I think they just saw the return not as a good a deal. So I'm going to hope somebody else comes up and does something different. Like I said, we did in Oklahoma City. We changed our venue and changed our focus and did all kinds of stuff, and I think it worked out well. I think it's good for our Oklahoma City Ham Fest if we can get into back into business by July. We might have a good opportunity to get some of those Dallas people up here.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I've been kind of on the fence about suggesting this, but a lot of the ham radio YouTubers that I hang out with, a lot of them have Discords. I was wondering if you had ever considered maybe starting up a Discord for the club as like a way of hanging out and message channels and that sort of thing.
I've looked at one, and maybe now's the time to try it. And what we need is a core group to do something there. Mm-hmm. I've got hundreds of different things that we've set up, but if you don't have a core group to go do something there, I know Discord's popular. I know Telegram's popular. I know, what's the other one? The Slack is a popular deal.
Most of the large companies are on Slack or Microsoft Teams. From like the dev perspective, Slack, Slack I think is like the one that most people try to copy. I really like Slack. I've used Slack for something like 5 years, but Discord is Slack. It's Slack for gamers. I really enjoy Discord, but I suggest that specifically because that seems to be like what all the big players are using. Ham Radio Crash Course, KI6NAZ, he has a huge Discord. You could jump in there pretty much any time and talk to people all over the world. because it has like voice chats as well. So if anybody is inclined, they could basically hang out in there and talk. And then there's another one called like the YouTubers Bunch, and they're like a smaller group that I hang out in more, that has another pretty prominent Discord. So it just seems to be like the popular thing for the ham radio niche for community building, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll go look. I'll go chase one down. I mean, there's so many different ways to go, and you know, we've even got a Pinterest channel. Is to tell you how wild it goes. And we get a lot of traffic off of that silly thing. It's really crazy.
Pinterest.
I'm thinking the problem Discord. You know, you need a critical mass, and it's not a very big hobby. And you know, the core group for scars, you know, acting as a local resource, and the demographics. It's, you know, you've only got so much. You know, I've only got so much time to keep up with all the Discord, and then everyone's just, you know, ends up just gravitating towards one or two of them, and then the rest, you know, just becomes. I don't know, could give it a try, but
yeah, that's kind of my attitude. Is if it runs, you know, if people go over there, fine. It may not be me, but if we got 30 people over there, super.
Yeah,
you know, that's,
you know, the local scars. It's for something very specific. You know, it's I guess is if it can what do you call it, the speciality would be, you know, it's a local. Yes, it's always going to be small, but it's being able to cater to local, you know, and you know, if you just look at a Facebook group, you know, or you know, stuff that's coming in and out, a lot of it is very, you know, ends up a lot of you know, pre-COVID, a lot of face-to-face meetup for help or, you know, exchange and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm looking at from Discord. It's not a parallel, but you know, it's like DMR. You have so many talk groups that yeah, it doesn't matter because everyone just comes down to a few, and you have hundreds that are there that just aren't really that used.
But you know, we get 30 on here on YouTube / Zoom. We get, you know, 500 or 580 on Facebook. We get another 150 on Twitter. We got local folks and the website. You know, we're pushing, that website's pushing 1 million what we used to call requests a month off of that thing. Last month we did 112 gigabytes of data off of that the SCARS website. It's just crazy.
I think from my perspective, the thing that I was I guess seeing is it doesn't really seem like there's like a chat place for scars. Like aside from creating a post on your Facebook wall, I don't really know where I could like start a conversation and just get a quick answer, if that makes sense. There's no like IM or group setting for that sort of thing. Like in the software development world, if I have run into like a bug or something, usually there'd be like a channel I could just reach out to, like, hey, here's an error I'm seeing. And, you know, if somebody happens to be online, they could respond to that. But it's not necessarily a Facebook post, if that makes sense.
Well, that's what we tend to use a lot of those in that way on Facebook.
Yeah,
that kind of works that way. And the thing is, what do you have running? You know, if you have Discord running fine, if you had, you know, I've got Slack and I've got Teams, I've got Slack and I've got Telegram running, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know that's true.
You know but the right answer is, one person doesn't have to be the center of all of that. You know, if Discord takes off, that's great. If it doesn't, we put something up and it doesn't, oh well. Do you know? Do you work with the Techlahoma folks? Have you talked to them?
No, I believe that they have the Tech Fests, right?
Yeah, they have Slack channels, and I don't know what their numbers are. They're just crazy. For numbers of folks, but I keep trying, and I always end up as a fail, but I want to get a amateur radio presence on Techlahoma, and then invite them to the Hamfests and let them do a few things at a Hamfest, where they do some presentations on maybe Raspberry Pis or something else, and then bring some of their folks in to the ham world, or any of the lug nuts, the Linux user group folks would be a good piece to come over there.
That's pretty cool. I'll probably join their Slack.
Yeah,
I really like Slack actually as a platform. It's just expensive.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark Klein. Actually, Roger has. No, I was just gonna say. Actually, Roger has a point. Just try a Discord out first, and try incorporating that into the next ham holiday. So start off the scars, and then use you piggyback off that scars into you can break you can sublet into that just specifically for ham holiday. What are you gonna do with it for for coordination, discussion, everything else? But you can go ahead and start that, and then kind of have it in place, and then ham holiday, see how you can leverage that.
No, that's a good. I mean, that's well, since Roger volunteered to kind of spearhead the thing, I'd be happy to set that up. And once you get somebody to volunteer, I'm so proud that he came up and said he'd be happy to do all that. I mean, that's impressive. But if heck, if I got two people, I'll do it. We'll if it's just me and Roger, we'll go try it for a while. But here it is, 3,200 Slack members is what Techlahoma shows. And I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. 4,000, 3,200 Slack members, 4,000 people in their groups. But I want to build one of these user groups. I just can't get. I got a friend who's bigwig in this stuff, and I just need to beat him up and say, "Get me in." But after they went, like COVID on everything else. They've got really nice facility up there that they can have meetings in, and they're really good meetings, but we can't meet yet. So it's all Zoom or whatever.
So this is my first time hearing about ham holiday. I'm looking at the website though. Is this something that you guys are planning on doing back in 2021 or?
Yeah, my goal, I run the thing. So we've got a group of 6 clubs that put the thing together, and we're out at OCCC, and we typically have about 700 people that show up at the thing. Last year we had to do it virtual. We did it on Zoom, and the videos are should be on the front page. There it is. These are all the videos I did from last year's event. We typically run 15-hour-long sessions on a Saturday. We typically run 50 Boy Scouts through a training class all day. And then we have a big, probably 125 tables that people rent for selling and buying their equipment. And then we have vendors there from Kansas and Texas and all over the place. Some of these, this guy is nationally, I got Rob to come down. He's Rob Sherwood, who does a lot of receiver reporting. He's done for years, and he did a talk for us. And I think we've had 2,000 views on that thing since July. We did about 500 folks real time on that one off of YouTube, off of the deal. But the goal is for next, and I should know here shortly, I'm going to try to see what OCCC will let us do. But it's usually July 21st and 22nd. I guess it's not here. I've still got this date on the front page here, but it's 24th or 5th or something. And it's, I think I've got it on the Facebook page, but it basically a good place to come learn stuff, buy stuff, sell stuff. We have a test. One of our guys brings up his test gear, so you can bring a radio in and have it tested. It's just a busy day. a day and a half. We do Friday night and Saturday.
That
Banquet.
looks awesome.
It is. It really is. Unfortunately, we didn't do it last year.
Yeah.
But well, you know, I don't know. I'm taking bets right now. Think we're going to be good in July. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we're betting on that from our company's perspective as far as talking about opening. Or
you don't think you're going to be half wide open in July?
No, our offices are shut down for the foreseeable future. I don't think we're going to be back by then, but we'll see.
Really? Yeah. If not, we'll do another video. We'll do another online thing. I did one for Enid a couple weeks ago at a last minute deal. And
how was that?
It was okay. They had that turned out to be it was one of those things that I said, wow, that's a pretty good way to do that. I wish I could have done that for Ham Holiday, and I wonder how they're doing that. And then about an hour later, I got a phone call from them that said, hey, we need your help. so it's like 9 days between the time I got involved and the time of the event. The guy that was doing it for them was a military guy at the Vance Air Force Base, and he got transferred out like 3 weeks before the event, and nobody had anything going. Their problem was they got skunked on 3 of their presenters didn't show. So it was kind of fun for 15 or 20 folks. And we got 2 good videos out of the thing off of our channel.
They didn't show up to a virtual presentation. That's
Yep. So I don't know if I don't know if they weren't properly, since the guy left and the new guys didn't have time to catch. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but technically it went well. It just was 2 hour worth of presentation. We did a 7-hour event. We had 2 good hours out of the thing. Here's a playlist from there. One's a Regal, the Regal test devices guy was there. He's going to be awesome. We're going to have him for Ham Holiday no matter what we do. He'll do a good presentation. And then we did this guy, ABR Industries. It's kind of a low energy presentation, but he had a lot of good information in that VSWR, and that's at w5nor.org/Enid.
Okay.
Pull those 2 up. But yeah, the Ham Holiday one, man, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that we could do something in July, but people like you bring me back to reality.
I might just be being pessimistic, to be fair.
No, I mean, I think you're right. It's a long time from now, but not really. So we're going to have to make a decision shortly. But we usually have 600-700, probably 700. I don't remember what my number was last year. 670 or something we had last year, 670 people. And we were poised for 2020 to really grow because we did 4 years in a really bad spot. And then I was asked to come help, and we moved to a really nice spot. And we got 2 years that really increased our volume. We went from like 300 to 670 in 3 years. And then this next year, we would have probably been over 750 easily in 2020. But and it's good. The bad thing is Hamfest used to be the good excuse to go buy stuff. We were talking earlier that Wayne needed a new radio, and usually what you would do is you would go to a Hamfest and then you would go, I got to have this radio, and you'd grab a radio and you got your new radio. And then we haven't done that for years, so nobody's got new radios, or not many of us have new radios. but we do testing. There's a test, VE test will be at that thing, and it's a good place. It'll be a good time, but I don't know.
Well, hey, Mark, and then as you said, I think that the big, not big, but at least the potential, well, at least definitely the potential future, or not potential, the future for ham radio is, pulling in or incorporating the Oklahoma, the makers and the hacker space in, because that's you got to go forward with that. And I know, I remember you were, you were gearing up to get, pull them in and kind of make it a combined MFest/MakerFest, and then that can really take off.
Yeah, and I think it will, and I think you have to, and that's kind of what my big theory is behind all this stuff, is that ham radio has changed and AmFest have changed, and we've got to change with it. And I think we have in Oklahoma City. I don't think Dallas wanted to. I think if we bring in 4,000 Techlahoma folks and we get 10% of them to show up, 400 of them show up, that makes a huge difference. Now you got 1,100 people there, and that's huge. I don't see. I must have pulled it off here. Yeah, what I had for next year, what we were planning to do for 2020 was what did I call it? Ham Radio Community College. Everybody else is using the term Ham Radio University, and actually Tim Duffy down here, K3LR, runs Ham Radio University, Contest University, and one of our guys used the words Contest University, and he kind of sent me a polite cease and desist letter. So I said, no, they misspoke. It's Contest Community College. We're not as good as you are. And Tim's from
Contest University. I hear him all the time on 2-meter calling frequency, because it says his call sign Everybody Loves Radio.
K3LR.
Yeah.
Yep. He's from Edmond, and he runs DX engineering stuff. He's a really good guy. And he was teasingly sending a cease and desist. And by the time my 5 or 6 emails chatting back and forth with him, he sent me a list. He sent me an email to his gal that runs the university and said, "Give Mark anything he wants." Okay. So we were going to have.
Yeah.
What?
No, I was going to say, Roger, if he hasn't checked out, go look up CTU Contest University. They've got a YouTube for all the past talks, presentations, really interesting stuff. And then if you're looking at the technical stuff, there's the what's that, Taproot conference as well.
Tucson Area Packet Radio is what it was first called.
Yeah, it's really neat that they put all the presentations and what they do online. So those are pretty interesting.
They're very good. The videos are very good. This last year, they usually run this at Dayton, and it costs probably $200-300 to get in. And this last year, they ran it online and did it for free, and it was really well done. The guys, Rob Sherwood was one of the presenters, the guy that did the Oklahoma City presentation for us. I don't know what's Dayton doing. Let's see, Hamvention. See if they announce that they're canceling, that will be a big deal. See, that's last I checked, was it showed 20 weeks. Yeah, they're still on the fence too. They run a really good show up. They have about 25 to 30,000 hams that attend that event, that ham fest up there. Have you heard of Dayton?
Every ham should go to Dayton at least once in a lifetime.
That's it. I was going to go this year and it didn't work.
Ohio?
Oh my gosh. It is, that's something we need to probably do a presentation on, is those kind of things. But
I haven't been since they moved to the new place, but the old place pretty rough.
Xenia.
Xenia, thank you.
Hey, on a off topic, real quick, if Larry LHG is listening, Larry, are you still running APRS, or are you still playing around with APRS there recently? I was just wondering if I've been getting quite a bit of interference around my area, so I'm wondering if I didn't check other areas, but I'm just wondering if you have noticed any changes, in APRS, not receiving as many packets and stuff like that.
I haven't looked at status lately. Yes, I still run a APRS DG.
Oh, okay.
But last I looked, it seemed to be working. As far as interference, I like to say, I haven't really paid close attention to it.
All right, thanks. Yeah, just around the corner here at Tecumseh Road and I-35 around the area. I don't know. I just don't seem to be receiving as many packets as before. And then I'm looking at it on the page. It seems pretty okay. So I'm just wondering if it's probably something local around here.
See, Roger, for those of us that have been around a while, Dayton Handvention, who's the club of the year for 2020?
That's pretty cool.
That's us. What? Actually, it's 2018 data, but we won't say anything. But yeah, we were supposed to go up there and collect a big handshake, and I think that's all you get is a handshake.
I don't do that anymore. You just gonna get a virtual handshake.
I'll have to call Mike and say, what are we gonna do since you just skunked us last year? He told me, he said, next time we have a thing, you're welcome to come. So we'll go up there. But yeah, we won that last year. But if Dayton shuts down, because that's usually in May, that's going to be a big tell.
Nothing left. Well, Daytona's
when? That's earlier, isn't it?
It's like
Hamcation.
Yeah, Hamcation. Isn't that February or something?
See, that's the one where there was one I go to.
It's getting big.
That's down in Florida.
February. Oh, virtually. They're going virtual. So Hamcation's folded. Which they should. In February, there's no way they should do that. But they held it last year.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to go ahead and drop, so.
Okay. Thanks for coming. Holler if you want to come down and we'll grab your radio and take a look at it.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll shoot you a message on Facebook. So good night,
Or
gentlemen.
on Discord.
No, I can set one up if you'd like.
I'll go take a look at it and see what we got, but I'll get back with you on that.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll shoot you a couple links, basically just two.
Okay.
If you have some time, I recommend checking those out.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Have a good one.
Thanks, Roger. So they're for sure out. I don't see how Dayton can do anything in May.
Yeah, if it's May, that is still a little early in this whole current situation.
Or they're just being optimistic.
Yeah. And they're saying they're watching everything, but man, you think about, we did our event is in end of July, and I think we waited until 2 months out, maybe 3 months out, 2.5 months out. But
Yeah, I don't know what it is about ham holiday weekend. Seems like every time there's a ham holiday, you got some family thing that comes up.
Well, you just need to fix your family.
I just need to take my laptop with me and do virtual.
There you go. The
There's
what,
no
what do you
fixing my family.
what do you think? What do you think that More Norman's going to do about July-ish? Are they going to open anything?
July?
Yeah.
I doubt it. I mean, it again, it all depends because last year they canceled everything. They canceled summer youth. They canceled all of the summer programs. We don't hold conferences anymore.
Yeah.
Which we were making big bucks from Reynolds Ford for they had their once a month meeting there, but we don't do that anymore. So,
yeah. But someday you're going to turn that back on. Yeah. You know, July, to me, I hate to say it, but July 20th sounds like we're not going to do it. Is what I'm going for. Because we'd have to have good, solid information that's going to work in May. And quite honestly, if we hold a ham holiday and half the people show up, that's a bad day.
You lose money.
Money losing day.
So last year you did it all virtual, but did you? You didn't have to actually use OCCC last year, did you?
No, we did nothing there.
No, because everything was virtual.
Yeah, I ran it all. Same thing we're doing here.
But
Zoom and YouTube
lost money because there was no vendors. But whatever.
We didn't lose any money because we didn't spend any money. Is the right answer.
Just didn't make any money.
Right. Right. And last year at OCCC, we made some money a little bit. And 2 years before, we lost $1,500 a year. But that was our plan. So.
Well, but that was up at that expensive hotel.
Correct. We had to get it back from that crappy hotel. The attitude of, and so I told the board, it was we got to spend some money to get rid of that attitude. Stink. And
part of that problem. And,
we did.
You know, I'm not slamming Hamcom, but that was part of the problem with Hamcom is that when it was in Arlington, it was good, but then Arlington got greedy. They moved it to this big fancy hotel in Las Colinas. Well, first they moved it to Plano. Well, nobody wanted to drive all the way to Plano.
Yeah.
So they went to this big fancy hotel in Las Colinas and they lost out the wazoo there.
Yep.
So it went back to Irving and then back to Plano.
I can't even remember. I've been there at 2 or 3 different spots. I've never been the same place twice. And I have no idea where it was the last time I was at. I didn't go last year.
When I lived in Fort Worth and it was in Arlington, that was a thing to do.
Yeah, it was a great place. Man, that was awesome.
I volunteered 4 hours of security and I got a free ticket in.
There you go.
So it was worth 4 hours of my time.
Yep.
And that was my first experience with Hamfest. And I'm like kid in the candy store there because that was not long after I got my ticket.
Yep.
Wow, 28 years ago.
Mine's in 85, so 35 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember when QCWA guys used to be old.
We used to call them the Old Farts Club.
Yeah. Now, guess what? You're 28. I'm 35.
Yeah. I thought about joining them too, but it's like, what do they do? I don't know.
I don't think I think their chapter in Oklahoma City disbanded. They were 63.
So I don't know if you can see this. This is my very first ever attempt at creating a dipole connector.
Good job.
So I got this that I put my coax connector in. I got these that go in the side there. You can't see it.
Yeah, we got it.
So after I brainstormed all this and figured out how to do it and went and bought all the parts, then I watched a YouTube video last night where the guy uses half of the parts. Well, basically does the same thing, but instead of using a T, he just uses a cap and a plug. But anyway, this seems like it's going to work for me. And I use nylon nuts so that they don't back out.
Yeah.
But putting all this stuff together just now, I'm thinking, well, this thing's a little bit heavy.
Yeah, they are kind of heavy.
But this is the first time I've ever done it. But, you know, rather than spending $40 on a ballon.
Yeah, you don't do that.
I bought this and I bought some ferrite beads. So that's a question that I can ask the group. So I bought some of those little clamp-on ferrite chokes, and supposedly to calm down the RF that's kind of backing up on the coax. But how many do you actually need to clamp onto the coax? Because I've seen some people that I've read some things where they say, well, you need to put 5, or you need to put 10, or you only need 2.
Yeah, on HF, on HF, you definitely need more for the clamp-on ones.
Okay. More as in 15, 20, 40?
No, that 5 or 10 versus 1 or 2.
Oh, okay.
I just use, if you can find the rings, the 2.5-inch rings, those seem to work. I seem to work much better for me for HF. The clamp-ons, the clamp-ons, even if you can, swing it round, loop it round once, they seem to work better. They work better on VHF, and whereas HF needs a little bit more of that ferrite action.
Okay. The other alternative was to make a air choke out of rolling up coax onto like a 4-inch pipe or whatever. And
yeah, what I'm trying to go find again, and I keep forgetting. I need to K9YC. That's it. K9YC.
But you know what's funny is I've run dipoles for years, and I've never had to do any of this stuff. I had one 80-meter dipole that I ran 75 ohm coax on, and it worked great.
Yep. If you don't have any other transmitters near you, and you have a good SWR where you're not pushing current where you shouldn't be, you don't really need one. This guy, if you read this K9YC guy, Jim Brown, let's see, where's his stuff? He has it'll make your head explode reading the stuff, but it is very good information. There we go. RFI ferrites and common mode chokes for hams. We'll put this in the web thing. I put it on our page somewhere. I don't remember where it's at. But that is very good information on common mode chokes. But the thing is, if you're next to a radio station, you need something like that. If you're next to a guy who's transmitting, you need something like that. If you're not, you don't need it.
I'm not really next to nobody.
Now, what he also, in the stuff
half a block down the street's fire department, but that's half a block down the street.
Yeah, that's VHF or UHF. That's not going to hurt you. it's if you're having problems with common mode stuff. Now, what I did read out of this is that wrapping it around an air core, like a 4-inch deal where you wrap 8 or 10 things, doesn't help at all. You know,
Really?
that's a feel good kind of thing.
Because I've watched a lot of videos about that, and they're like, oh yeah, this is good stuff, you know, but how do you take RG8 cable and wrap it around? That stuff's hard to wrap anyway.
Yeah. You got to glue it in place.
Zip tie and all that stuff.
Yeah, or zip tie it to a piece of. But from what this stuff said, if you look at the numbers, the amount of compare that to a clamp-on choke, it's like one clamp-on choke to do that whole thing. And this guy will go through. You can calculate everything you need and do all the stuff, but the problem is, do you need it?
Yeah. Well, and then everybody's saying, "Oh, you got to have it, you know, because you don't want to get RF burns in the shack and this, that, and the other thing." You know what? My coax is grounded.
Yeah, coax is grounded, and you're not doing high SWR. You won't get a problem with it.
No. But I was just curious about it.
Yeah, and you'll get people to fight back for like, do you need a Ballon for a dipole? That's another one.
Well, yeah, and there was a time way back when I was still green that, yeah, I went out and spent, you know, $50 for a Ballon for a dipole, and my Elmer said, well, you just wasted your money.
Yeah. Yep. I'd love to. We should do this sometime as a thing. You going to bye? See you, Larry. Bye. You need anything from Warzy? Did you hear anything about that for online? Did you talk to him?
I have not. I talked to Jay a little bit, and I think we're going to start trying moves a little bit on that, but
okay, I'll set something up. I'll set
let
something
you know
up.
if we decide anything.
Okay.
So, have a good one.
Thanks, man. Be good.
Enjoy the code.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
I'll be thinking.
Yeah. Hang up now. Now. But for instance, this document goes through and it talks about RF chokes on a doorbell. So if you're getting RF into a doorbell, here's how you can fix that.
Yeah, I'm sitting here scanning through it, and it's pretty extensive.
Yeah, it will make your. I mean, it is very good stuff. The thing that you got to remember is, do you need it? It's like your Ballon on the dipole.
Yeah.
Okay, you got a $50 Ballon, but do you need it?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you're a yes guy, Peter?
Yeah. If I'm using coax, ladder line, ladder line can get, ladder line is balanced all the way. So it's definitely help for, in my case for noise in some situations. And then when 40 meters is acting up in the house, it's usually from the it's usually to the coax. It's from the coax.
So you're seeing it as getting into your house. Wow.
Yeah, because of that coax. Yeah.
I've never had any problem getting stuff in the house. Only problem I've ever had was 15 meters used to tear up a TV I had.
But Mark, as you said, all depends on your antenna installation as well. You might, you have it up in the, for example, my antennas are never anywhere close to ideal, separation from everything else. So it's I'm expecting it.
Yep.
Well, my antennas are way out in the backyard, at least
Yeah, you'll never have a problem.
50 feet away from the house.
Yeah, you'll never have a problem.
Never say never.
No, I mean, when something goes wrong with an SWR, yes.
Yeah.
But that's funny. Roger just signed up for a Ham Holiday newsletter.
All right, I think I'm going to bail, guys. Good talking.
I am too. Unless Peter and Bob are gonna outdo their.
No, let's see. All right, Wayne. Have a good rest of the year.
All right.
See you, Wayne.
Guys, later on.
See you, man. Good luck. Get something done.
I hope to have, if we don't get nasty weather tomorrow, I hope to get that 40-meter dipole up and going.
Good man.
All right.
See you later. See you next Tuesday. We'll hear about it.
All right.
Yep. I was listening to you guys last week because I was moving a mail server. I had a terabyte of data I was having to move and set up a new web server. So I was sitting there watching that thing transfer and setting up the new Hyper-V setting while I heard you guys yakking away. I finished at 4 a.m. is when I finally went to bed. so I went another 4 hours after you guys quit.
What you moving the whole web server or?
I have a battery backup that when the power goes out, it shuts down. And you may not understand the purpose of a battery backup, but that's not it. That's not what you should do. So the power goes out, 2 seconds later, boom, it shuts itself down. So in doing so, it did that so many times over Christmas that it croaked one of my solid state drives, and I had to move 6 Hyper-V virtual machines from one machine to another physical machine, and because it was running only on 3 solid state drives on drive C. So I moved, I don't know what it was, 6 terabytes of data over the next 3 or 4 days. Got them off of that machine to rebuild it. But this stupid battery backup will just croak. And I talked to manufacturer today, and they said, well, what you have is a very expensive surge protector. That's not what I'm looking for. But if I put a heat gun on the device, and it was running 15 amps on the heat gun, it would no problem. If I'd pull the power plug, it'd stay running. He said that the thing was going into over voltage. It was putting out, somehow the inverter was running away, and that's why it was shutting down. And I couldn't figure that out. Still can't figure it out. But he said each plug, there's 6 different outputs on that inverter, that each one is separately tuned. So I'm going to try all 6 of the other 5 outputs tomorrow and see if one of those is the one that fails it. But it would, as soon as you pull the power, it would dump. I think I had 6 switches and 3 servers on that battery backup, and it just toasted all of them. Shut them down. I think I made 6 trips into town to do that over Christmas. Not fun. But I don't know. I can't figure out what a battery backup would. It's a double conversion. Why would it go nuts when it loses power? Makes me crazy. Makes me crazy. So tomorrow I get to run a heat gun for probably 4 hours. See if I can make it fail.
Wrap a pipe heater around it or something like that.
It needs a common mode choke filter is what it needs. That's exactly what it needs. It needs a ballon. So Steve, did you get some good information tonight? Are you ready to do something?
Yeah, I thought about a few things, but I'm retired, and I'm one of those that do what I want to do when I want to do, if I want to do.
Okay.
So it's on the slate.
Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Very good, very good, very good. Well, I don't know what else. What do you got? Anybody got something?
I'm going to say it's my bedtime. So Happy New Year.
I'm going to be right behind you.
Yeah, well, I'll call it quits, I suppose. Stephen, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for the weather report, Bob.
Yeah, Happy New Year. That rain's getting closer. It's past. It's into Yukon now.
Oh boy.
Okay. But
I'm gonna go take the trash can out.
There you go.
The high probability of it turning into snow and ice over here.
No, not this. I mean, there's a very slight chance we might get some snowflakes in the morning, but it'd be above
And
freezing.
then that's about it. Okay.
But there's another system digging around it that's going to go really far south into the Gulf and come shooting up northeastward Thursday night and Friday, and that might give us some snow and